All right. Hello. Hello, my friends. How are you guys? It is really good to see you. Let me make sure I am all set up. Yes, I'm all set up now. This is a call in show. People have already started to call into the green room, but I wanted to start the show because, as usual, I have things to start the show with. And I made a video to give you guys ideas, although I'm sure that there's a lot of you that already have things you want to talk about. So, hello, Singingway and Kim and whoever's with us. It's great to see you guys. I want people to join. And I thought I would start out with a good old Limericks of Doom. This was by Benjamin the Donkey. And we'll start out with, because we're in an election season, we'll start out with his limericks on tribes. We had a dream. Our dream of justice has passed. Life means oppression by caste. But soon, now instead, we'll be equally dead. Thank God, we'll be free at last. Okay, so I'm starting off on such an up note. Expectations. Some advice that's not moralistic nor unduly pessimistic. As we slide down doom's slope, don't abandon all hope. Just hope that's unrealistic. Well, that's a good thing to talk about, right? Unrealistic hope, because and then knowing what actually we can do. Hey, Poppy, and improve your magic. It's great to see everybody. So actually, I have two parts of this, and let me just pick one that I haven't ever looked at. Okay. Whose fault is it? Whose fault is it we're in decline? It's the system, folks, acting like swine. It's the poor, those with riches, some son of a bitches, and yours. But surely not mine. All right. So I think we've had enough of Benjamin the donkey, but Limericks of Doom, if you're interested. It's quite fun. So I've got a video I made for you guys to inspire you, give you some ideas. It's a very cool. There's nothing really fancy about this show. Okay, really. My body, my rules. Pro-choice. Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Hi, Alex. Yes. Don't abandon. You like that one? Don't abandon all hope. Just hope that's unrealistic. That's good. But man, things have happened which people thought it was unrealistic ever to expect to happen. Yes, you make a good point there. And I'm not Benjamin. I just thought it would be fun to start with the limericks. Mm-hmm. Yes, things can happen when we don't know. And I always say, I don't have a crystal ball. All right. So as you're joining, let's get ready for the video. Unfortunately, some of my friends from Left Past 10 won't be here because Andrea's doing a live show the same time I am. Oh, well, that's them's the breaks. Okay, so watch my video while I take a deep breath. I have to take a deep breath. I just got shit together. The kid was here helping me with my firewood, and he loaded a whole bunch of it. So, oh, here we go again with this stupid. I'm writing to the company. I don't like what happens to this camera. It is so stupid. It doesn't, and I really don't even move. So let's get me back to where I was. And this is very unprofessional. So I'm going to tell them this really sucks. Okay, watch the video so I could calm myself down, since it was one of those days running around. But I managed to make the video for us. So here you go. And if you're calling, you just have to sit in the green room. And I really don't want too many people in the green room at once. So we'll see what happens. But I know somebody's in there. You're just going to have to wait, or you can watch the show and come back in when I ask you to. Let's start out with the video that gives you ideas. All right, here we go.
In all circumstances, I ask every American to be an ambassador of Be Best. to focus on what unites us, to raise above what divides us, to always choose love over hatred, peace over violence, and others before yourself.
It's a disgusting show of support for someone that doesn't deserve our support. I'm ashamed that my tax dollars are going to the brutalizing of an entire people.
Disgusting and hateful.
So incredibly crude.
It used to be global warming, and that wasn't working because we're actually cooling. So we have that, but you know the biggest warming problem we have is nuclear warming. So they talk all the time about the ocean will rise in 500 years, 1/8 of an inch. Who the hell cares, okay? Do that.
Satan is a role reversal master.
Harmful tipping points in the natural world pose some of the gravest threats faced by humanity.
I appreciate.
Let go of me, I'm being assaulted. Go together is the mascot of India's KKK. There have to be limitations, there have to be regulations of abortion without any question.
So you would cap it at 15 weeks?
Yes.
Or 21 weeks?
Yeah, 3 months.
So 3 months. You would sign a federal cap on that?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
It's nice to see you, Kamala. It is nice to see you, Kamala. And I'm just here to remind you, you got this. Because you can do something your opponent cannot do. You can open doors.
Step would be that phone call. Second step, would be to curtail all shipments of weapons and all military support for Israel until Israel comes into compliance with international law.
So, I had to go.
It is our collective responsibility to start taking action in order to save our planet.
And weather control. President Biden speaking just moments ago saying, no, we're not controlling the weather. We'll show you that. But we are actually controlling the weather, and we're going to show you exactly how that's unfolding. Dane Wigington is going to be joining us from geoengineeringwatch.org.
Believe it or not, the icy continent of Antarctica is going green. Satellite images show that over the past 35 years, green vegetation on Arctic Island has increased by 14 times.
All right, I thought that would give a lot of different kind of ideas and flavors, but I'm going to take the first call. And Lisa, I think you were in there, but I am going to. I've got Alex in the green room. So Alex, you are here. Can we hear you, Alex? Let me make sure you're in the green room. No, I think I moved you out. Hang on. Let me add you. I don't want to add the camera, though. Hang on.
Hello.
Are you there? Hello?
Hey, this is Dr. Jordan D. Peterson.
I added the wrong person. Hello, Jordan Peterson. Hang on a second. I'm going to test something on you. Can you hear? Are you still
yes,
on? Okay. Jordan Peterson. Jesus, how did you find out about this show? My
Hang on.
God, Jordan Peterson. All right, let me bring in Alex. Hello, Alex. Can you? Hello, Alex.
Hi again.
All right, you could. Yeah, it seems like I have to add the picture and then take it away for some reason. Hello, Alex. Welcome. And what would you like to
Hi,
talk about?
this is great. This is awesome.
All right. Well, what would you like to talk about?
I like the idea of support and fun and comfort, like not stress and more Trump news and all that.
Well,
So
we got that over with in my video. Well, and with ideas. So, yeah. So, do you have a topic you want to talk about?
I'm in my kitchen, I'm making tea, I'm just hanging out, like, doing the talking thing. Everybody is super stressed about Tuesday, so
Of course.
it's time to talk gardening, cooking, pets, books, fun, party, party at Sandy's house.
Well, we know that not everybody's going to be able to just talk about fun and cooking and party at Sandy's house. But hey, you know what though? We're here for support for each other because there's just so much going on. And yeah, I make dystopian-ish videos, but it gives you food for thought. And yes, this is my Halloween nails, Poppy. It was for my Ivana costume. She was out there saying, "Oh my goodness."
Are you gonna do lots of people at once here, or just one at a time?
I'm trying one at a time to start. I don't know how it would go. I could add Jordan Peterson. I could bring Jordan. Do you want to come in? Should we add you and see how it works? Are you here, Jordan?
Yes, I am.
Oh, well, Jordan, meet Alex.
Hello, Alex.
Hey, Jordan, how's it going?
Good. Are you a woke moralist?
Am I on which list?
A woke moralist. A woke moralist. WOKEMORALIST.
This is Dr. Jordan Peterson. You know, this famous right-wing psychologist from Canada. Welcome.
I do. Like, literally, the name makes my blood boil. It's tough to keep that mellow, chill scene thing going, the light side.
Oh my God, Jordan Peterson, you're an asshole. We're gonna. I think we're gonna hang up. Come on, guys. We're gonna start this again. No, this is supposed to be a nice show. This is supposed to be a very chill show. And anybody, the link is in I pinned the link, so just call in. You don't have to be on. There's no face or anything. We're just gonna talk. It makes it easier. Come on, Karen, you want to call? She says, let's educate Jordan about climate. Well, if he sticks...
Oh, you're going to educate me about climate? Fine. Educate me.
Okay, Alex, you want to take that?
Yeah. Oh, man, it's the change in weather. It's raining, it's snowing, it's hot. It's a 20 to 30 year change in weather.
Yeah.
And what is there to say anymore? It's like either you get it or you don't, right?
It was a beautiful day today too, and outside I wasn't loading it. Richie came, kid that helps me, and we were both in our nothing clothes because it was so beautiful and warm for November 3rd, where you're usually bundled up around here. It is weird. I haven't looked at the climate, why it's been so warm in the Northeast. I've been so busy with probably obsessing over this election like everybody else.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. The green room is open. Yeah, where is everybody?
Open the green room, please.
The green room's open. So, Dr. Peterson, do you have any pearls of wisdom? Wisdom. Got any pearls? All right. Mididoctors, I'm going to assign you and bring you in. Hello? So tell us, what is burning to talk about, Mididoctors?
I like your video. I mean, your video sort of touched on the sort of anarchic mishmash we've got going on
Doesn't it?
in general. Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, I mean, looking at the election, we're bombarded by so many different. There's very difficult to get a sense of which way things are going. There are so many sort of like polls that from all parts of the spectrum are what I mean, left, right, centre, whatever, are all producing or putting out polls that say both things. That
Right.
Trump's going to win, that Harris is going to win, that it's going to be a landslide for Harris. She's totally blown it because of the Gaza thing, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't seem to, no matter where you are on the spectrum, there's a poll coming from that area of the political divide telling you that, either the worst thing or the best thing's going to sort of happen.
It's scary.
We had some,
it's driving us. I'm just working on.
It's driving everybody around the fucking bend.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody's going mad.
Where are you located?
Yeah, in the UK.
Oh, you're
in the northwest.
Well, I figured you were. I did. I figured you were. You sound terrific. I love this. This is great. So, what do you think we do? I mean, till Tuesday, we just have to figure out how to.
Well, I mean, either you pay attention and go, you either sort of dig in and just sort of, prise open your eyeballs and just take in all this nonsense.
Yeah.
Or you just go and vote, and then just switch off and turn it, tune into media on Wednesday.
Kind of why I decided to do this. Okay, though, our election actually will affect you, right? It will affect you.
Okay. One thing the Americans, I think, underestimate is how much everybody else in the rest of the world is completely sick to fucking death of the American electoral cycle.
Yeah, we are.
Because it affects absolutely everything. And it's every 4 years. And they start campaigning basically as soon as they get in. There's a massive delay between the two presidents. I mean, basically, it should just happen on the day. You're out and they're in. That's what should happen. But it takes bloody months. In which time, one of the presidents can decide, wannabe candidates can decide to have a bloody coup. You know what I mean? Nice sort of electoral window for election fraud in this bit. You know what I mean? It's a ridiculous system you've got. It's absolutely, it's obscene.
We agree.
It's not democratic. It so affects other people's decisions on what governments can do. Our government is waiting on what the American election is to decide what to do. Right? And that's the same, and more so now because we left Europe. We're not part of a bigger decision-making bloc. We're just sort of,
right
now just sort of floating around in the Atlantic.
How do you feel about that? Because Brexit was a big thing, and I was at the time, trying to figure out the pros, and the con. Oh, I thought my monitor turned off. The pros and the con. How do you feel about that, Brexit?
Okay, in the round, it was a disaster. Leaving. I mean, it's just that simple. There is all sorts of negative criticisms of the EU as a neoliberal trading bloc, which is what it is.
Yeah.
But that's like saying, complaining about the sun coming up. Everything is a neoliberal trading bloc. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It's right.
Wow.
That's right. Right. Yeah. You can't. There is no alternative. Right. The internationalism is a good thing. Right. So people getting into these blocks, and Africa getting into one, which is what they're doing now, is a good thing. To act as a counterpoint to other forces in the world. Right.
Yeah.
And that's tied into what America's actually now behaving like, because America's losing that status of supremacy.
Yeah.
In the discourse, and it's acting like a fucking crowd of repugnant bastards.
So that's how that's how people outside of our country are seeing it. It's very embarrassing.
Fuck America.
It's a very
fuck America.
Oh my God.
It's really. I mean, people are. I don't think people realize. Not just. It's in the global south they've had enough. right? Yeah, and people around
Yeah.
the rest of the world, right? Yeah, are basically like, we've had enough of you.
So
It's not just
we need to change our electoral system. I think we need to get money out of politics, of course.
well, you need to.
Let me
There's also,
bring
I mean, you can wish.
Lisa. Are you here, Lisa?
I am.
Oh, we can hear you. Oh, why don't you pipe in, Lisa? And I think Alex, you're still here too, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm
All
paying
right.
attention.
So go ahead and pipe in if you want to talk to Mididoctors, because this is good, and I think I can have more than one. Why not?
Why not? It's stressful for the whole world, this election of ours. And you know me, I've been talking to Australians, Canadian, the English, the Germans, and they're all stressed. We don't really care what the Canadian election does, what the Indian election does. And then we're, it's like Joel from Australia is right next door to us, not on the other side of the earth. So it's this new situation we're in. And stress is still stress no matter what. And we simply have to calm down and chill out and have some fun, right? It's got to be some good times, some fun. We're human. We like to have fun. You like to have fun. This obsessive, Trump is going to Pup Tentacle thinks that they're going to kick all the Indians off the reservation off of Pine Ridge and put the liberals there. That's Pup's theory.
Oh my God, this is pretty
Right?
scary. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa, would you like to talk? And then I want to bring on a couple more people, because I think that I can only have so many in this green room. So Lisa, your turn.
Sure.
What was going on with you?
I really am disappointed to hear that the rest of the world thinks we're that crappy, because it's not us. A majority of Americans want to do the right thing, and we know about climate change, and we're good people. There's only 19%, I believe, is the percentage lately put upon us of MAGA, Make America Great Again, who's under Donald Trump's rule or whatever that asshole is. Sorry. So I really wish that the rest of the world would see us in a kinder light, because as a people, we have been a leader in the world, and we want Ukraine to succeed, such that Putin can't march across Europe, and then we're in World War III. And this is, I've been volunteering for pro-democracy channels for the last 3 years, ever since, I met you, Sandy, and this channel. If you put me on screen, you could probably show the difference in what I look like now and what I look
Well,
like
if I
then.
put you on screen, I'm going to use up bandwidth, and that's going to be hard. I can try for a second, but I'm not going to be able to leave you on here because I'll lose everybody else. Hi, it's one at a time. I was going to try, see? All right.
I just want to say, I look like shit.
From worry. From worry.
From working my ass off being a moderator on a huge channel that got over commercialized, and then other channels, Mary Trump, she's good, Jen Tobbs, blah blah, and it's so stressful.
Yep.
But we are good people. We are good people. Whoever that person was that your guest was,
right,
that said that Americans are assholes, we're not.
Okay, Mididoctors, are you still there? We're not all assholes.
Yeah.
You know that we're not all assholes because you watch the
No,
shows.
no. I mean,
no, as a collective in the country. All right, I'm going to add a Canadian now, and I know there's other people waiting. Lisa, and I'm going to ask. Let me see how many people I can actually handle in the green room. Let me bring in Lightning Rod. It says I can assign, and Poppy. All right, Poppy, are you there? I'm going to bring in Poppy, and she is guest number 4. Okay. Poppy, can we hear you now? Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Poppy. And how are you doing? What would you like to talk about today?
Oh, I don't want to talk about politics. I tell you what.
Okay. Well,
pretty much.
You saw my video. I had bees. There's all kinds of other things to talk about too.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what. Right now, I'll talk about food.
Okay.
I'm having a good year. I'm cooking rabbit right now.
Ooh.
Rabbit in the crock pot.
Rabbit stew.
My own. Yep, rabbit stew. And this is we learned how to raise rabbit and process them, and it's our rabbit. And,
it's a rabbit. So, are they good? My neighbors do that.
They're good, believe it or not. Slow. You cook it low and slow, like in a crock pot, and it tastes even better than chicken. I've got it in a kind of a gravy sauce, mushroom. Anyway,
that's the homesteader way. My neighbors do it. I don't eat rabbit, but I can't do it. I'll eat eggs from her. But that's all right. That's all right, because you guys are 100% self-sufficient, really, or close to it.
Oh no, we're not. Oh God.
Okay.
I mean,
you're getting there, but you're getting there, Poppy. I mean, I've followed your progress. And your progress
we got chickens, we got eggs, we got rabbits, we got tons of. I am still swimming in sweet peppers.
That's great.
I grow them in everything. Anyway, it's been fun.
I found a few tomatoes. I found a few tomatoes in my garden today. It's been, it was in the 70s last week, right? And then today I'm walking outside trying to clean up the one garden, and there were tomatoes. So I popped them out and I ate them all. By the time I got in there, it's cherry tomatoes. But pretty much everything's done. Well, I left the gate open.
The same thing happened with me and the pepper. We had pulled out all the plants out of the garden and put them in the compost, and still some peppers grew in the compost. I was like, okay.
Really? Anyway. You had peppers growing, and that's pretty cool. I think I've had things grow in the compost. I just don't remember. Mididoctors, you had rhubarb and apples and peas this year. Okay, so it sounds good that it's still good that things can grow in the UK.
Coming to an end, though. You know what I mean? Well, it's because of the autumn and that.
Coming to the sure. It came to an end. Right.
And then I want to know what's in the rabbit stew. We didn't get to what is it? Wine, onions. Like I've had lots of rabbit stews in Greece. Right? They love it.
What's in it?
Pie? It's rabbit and sauce, and the sauce is gonna soften the rabbit. So it's just like it's just only doing the rabbit right now. I did try rabbit stew earlier, and turned out great. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, everybody's getting. Everybody had. Penguin had a big batch of butternut squash. I got a bunch of them.
Me too.
Yeah, they're sitting on my deck curing right now, and I'm going to make a big ass thing for Thanksgiving with them. But I know I can't leave them back there that long curing, so I'm going to have to cook it up and probably, freeze what I make. Come back on.
I'm here.
Yeah, you can just mute. Yeah.
No, she can jump off and come back on, and then I can have more bandwidth.
True.
All right. And I'm trying to get Lightning Rod on, and I can't see number 3. So go ahead, Alex, while I'm figuring this out.
Oh, sure. I think the environmental coffee house is a brilliant concept. I have no clue where you came up with that. I have no clue how you got started in any of this. But it's great that you're here. And it fits in nicely what we've been doing our 2 years as a community, just making peace. We're like the tribe next door to your tribe.
Yeah,
literally.
It is. It is kind of cool, isn't it? Now, I've done this with cameras. You've been with me when we did it with the cameras on. But if I do the cameras, that's when the bandwidth gets all hanky. So introduce yourself. What would you like to talk about?
Oh, so much technology. I'm really impressed with the way you handle it all. It's
not handling it that well.
There is a lot to know. You're doing really well. I'm quite impressed. It's just always a pleasure to be here, and
It is.
and what a great family, what a great channel. I can't agree more with how it is like this little group here, but so far it's the best one I think that's out there in the world.
No,
So
we are not.
pretty good.
That is completely silly, but it's nice to hear it. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That was nice.
Well, good luck with the election. I really hope everything is going to be okay.
I know, I know, I know.
Yeah, where I was born, I grew up on the border in so Detroit would have been the big city. So it was pretty quite a difference between Canada and the United States. It's really
It is.
we look the same, we talk the same, but there's some fundamental differences there. I really hope everyone is safe over the holidays. I think Donald Trump is just a gangster. I
Yeah,
mean, he's a
he is.
construction mogul from New York,
Yep.
and it's a parody on every movie. A construction mogul. Everybody knows they bury their problems in concrete. So,
I hear you. I hear you. Bury their problems in
works,
concrete. That's pretty awful, actually. Oh my gosh. You know, when I was doing the Ivana research, it just brought me back to the 80s and how awful it was to hear him on page 6, you know, or read about. I didn't read it much, but you just turned on the New York News and there was always something about them. Always. Looneytunes, I added you in. Can you hear us?
I can. Hello.
Okay. Hi. Are you actually going to be you and tell everybody who you are?
Yeah. So thank you for letting my buddy Jordan P. Peterson on. I was actually him.
Of course, you do very well. We have to do something more with Donald.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell everybody how I did it.
Okay. How'd you do it?
Let's go.
How'd you do it?
So I was. It was actually me watching clips of recent Donald Trump appearances, how he's been fucking up, and of course the Nazi rally and Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, yeah.
And how I could speak like this, and then I combined Alec Baldwin's Donald Trump impersonation. I can speak like this, and how Chicago is going to hell. Oh my God!
You did great.
And you did great as Ivana as well. And
it was fun.
For God's sakes, it took you a month to get the voice right.
Oh, I walked around talking to the cats, and my cats, they think now that mommy has a different accent. Now I have to. Well, now I'm working. I've decided that I like doing this, and I'm working on my Marjorie Taylor Greene. And actually, I was going to do a poll. And Sam wants me to do Melania, but she's like, just be best, and that is it. What am I going to do? But we could do Melania, and I'll do a poll on who people want me to do. It takes time. It takes time, but man, it's very creative for me to do something like that. It's an outlet.
Yeah.
I loved it, and I don't want to just do it on Halloween. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was fun. What the rest of you think? Karen, you're on, aren't you? Singingway. I think you can.
There, can you hear me now?
Yes. Hi, Karen.
Oh.
Everybody knows Karen Singingway. She did the En-ROADS presentation. Meet everybody, Karen.
I wanted to come on and just thank everyone for how they helped me when I was so sick in July. I had COVID so badly, and people here gave me some suggestions for ways to recover my energy afterwards, and they really worked. Different little, all kinds of little tonics and teas and things they suggested actually worked. Oh, can you not hear me?
No, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
I was looking for Alan. He was in there, and I lost Alan. I guess he took himself off. Go ahead.
And then I want to thank everyone too for I really, this community really helps me to be uplifted again. I mean, I know we're doomers, but it's the refreshment of being around truth, and so much of my life just surrounded by people who are in denial and just don't want to look at truth at all. So being able to meet with you guys and really confront the truth, look at it, as the best people we can be. And that's what I also wanted to mention, answer the person who said, hey, Americans are nice people. We're not all awful.
Right.
And I think in my life, I've found that I think 98% of people are just really good and kind, and about 2% of people are the ones that make the trouble for everybody else. and
Yeah,
and
it
so
seems like that. It does.
yeah.
It
And
really
so I
does.
would ask us to think about, like, why then are we experiencing consequences that none of us ever intended? We all had good intentions in our lives. We didn't set out to ruin the world. We didn't set out to destroy the planet and the ecosphere. So what is causing us all together to have consequences none of us individually intended? And that's I think that Peter Joseph has some good answers for that, in that our economics is what's causing that, because of the way that it's set up, the way that it doesn't give us immediate feedback for our actions. So we don't really know the repercussions of the choices that we make economically, but also how our economics now dominates the government, the military, Wall Street.
Yeah.
Wall Street ties into the global financial system, which is essentially empowering a sort of mob, because of the digitization of financialization has made it easier for people to be corrupt, and the military. And so I just think a big challenge for us all is to figure out how to hold on to the best, how to remain our best selves as things rapidly devolve, and how to preserve the best things of civilization for, the children and grandchildren that will be dealing with this.
It's true. It is the kids, and it isn't us. And that's what I think about all the time, is it's those that are coming after us that are dealing with the shit and all the crap that happened. And I don't blame necessarily boomers or say we did it, because we were just given a system. Hey, and Alan, you are in here. Can we hear you, Alan?
Right.
Yes, you can.
Hey, Alan. Welcome, Rollinswitch. Do you have something that you would like to say? And thank you, Karen. Everybody converse with each other, too. But, hi, Alan. Tell everybody about yourself. He's been a guest,
Wendy.
too.
Hi, everybody. Yeah. You'll know me as Rollinswitch, and I have that new channel, One Living World, just started
a
month ago, right?
Yeah, I have to start getting that marketed, help you with it. Sure.
Okay. Well, that's a great place to go if you just want to sit back and relax and watch the natural world as it actually works, because I'm filming this from 300 to 500 feet away. They don't know I'm there.
It's amazing. You've sent me some of your stuff in your channel. It is amazing, and it's very calming.
And I mean, I was out there just yesterday, and a hawk flew right by me. I don't think it even know I was there.
The hawk did? Wow.
Yeah, the hawk flew right
That's
by my head.
nice.
And I mean, of course, I couldn't photograph it because it was there and gone. And then the blue jays chased it, and the crows chased it, and the neighborhood got bad for it. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing, and I've been writing all that music that goes with it, composing it. So it's kept me pretty busy lately.
Everybody, I will put the link in the show notes to the channel for Alan's channel. And Karen's Singingway has her channel too.
Oh yeah, Climate Agents. I took a long sabbatical from it, but I'm going to get back to it soon.
Yeah, you were doing really, really nice interviews, and it's a lovely channel. It's wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, there's a lot of creative people right here.
Right. And I also have my own channel, and I have something in the works coming up after the election.
Okay,
It'll probably be a premiere.
Really?
I'm not going to reveal it right now. Also, my real name is Andrew.
Andrew, Looney Tunes. We love Looney Tunes, but Andrew is nice too. It's nice too. Yeah, it's always nice. It's always nice. Yeah. So okay, we've got so far, because I'm not using cameras, my software didn't crash. So Alex is with us. Mididoctors is still with us. I don't know who guest number 2 was. Let's see. Let me go back and look. Somebody took themselves out. Niall didn't call back. Singingway, Rollinswitch. Anybody else want to call in? I think I can handle it.
I think Jake's in the chat.
Jake is in the chat. Okay, I don't see him. Let me see if he's in the chat, but not in. I don't see him in the camera. Jake, if you want to come in, come in. This is really cool. It's actually really working. I just don't know who guest number 2 was. Somebody.
Oh, thank you, Andrea, for the raid. Oh my God, thank you so much.
What? What's going on?
Andrea just finished her show. Thank you so much, everybody, for the raid.
Oh, okay. I she started, and I was so upset because she was starting half an hour or 20 minutes before I did, and then I was like, holy shit. Donald. Okay, Donald, I'm going to assign you to number 8. This is actually working out pretty cool. How are you, Donald? All right.
How's my audio? It says that my audio is.
It sounds good.
Off?
No, you're on. You're here. Can everybody hear Donald?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Well, hello, Sandy. How are you?
Good, good, good. It's good to hear from you.
Yeah, it's good to hear everybody in here also. I don't have much to say. I just wanted to call in and say hello.
Hello.
I have called into your show before.
Yes,
like
you
a couple
have.
years ago.
Yeah.
Like a couple of years ago or something like that. It was a long time ago. But I'm glad to kick it.
Yeah, Donald, you're from the Sacramento area, right?
Yes, I am.
So you live where you're always seeing that there may be potential fires, and you get the notifications in the areas. Does it ever affect you or scare you?
A few years back, several years back, there was some fires up in the north area that the wind was blowing down to. I've never been directly affected by any fires, but one year the fires were so bad that the sky actually looked red.
Oof.
And you can see embers like floating in the air sometimes, little fire bunnies and stuff like that. And definitely you could feel it in your eyes. Your eyes would get irritated and everything. So directly affected, not necessarily in a way where I had to evacuate, but mildly affected.
Yeah, I would say. I think there was a fire up the street from me just the other night, and the fire department was out, and it's very rural here, and people are down here at their weekend hunting places and don't realize we have not gotten the rain. It was rainy all summer, but it's dry here. And I certainly don't want some idiot to have a fire going way up the road and it meanders all the way down to my place. People have to be, you'd think they'd be smart. Let's hope they're smart. Yep. So there's a lot of you also in the in the chat. This is so cool. Well, I'm glad you joined, Donald. And now, Bimmjim, are you going to behave yourself? Bimmjim, how you're in there. And I have to see what he has to say. Okay, I'll let him in for now and say hello, but he needs to behave. All right, Bimmjim, welcome. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
What's going on with you? You're going to be charming?
I can be charming. I have to try real hard. It takes a lot of energy, but I can be
no
charming.
Shit.
Yes, it's true. This is true.
So what's
Now,
on your mind?
people were talking about. Oh, well, you know, we could each of us tell what we have observed with our own eyes in our own area that tells us that climate change is happening, global warming is happening, right? So we, right here in the southwest corner of Canada, we have had droughts, 200-year droughts. That's a drought that would likely occur in greater than 200 years. We've had 2 of those droughts in about 8 years, 9 years now in the summertime, and the berries are very bad. And like I haven't had good wild berries for quite a few years now. And then what else? We had no snow on one of our big mountains here where we always had snow before. And then we had the tides coming in. We have these king tides or surge tides coming in on the ocean like we've never had before. And just a few times, you know, it's very sporadic, but every once in a while we get reminded, we get a kick in the butt. Yep, global warming is happening. But that's what I've seen with my own eyes, right?
Right.
And I do miss the wild berries, though. I was always out picking the wild berries at the right time of year, you know. But yeah, so that's what we see here. Personally, with my own eyes, that's what I've seen, you know. So
you're a scientist, aren't
and
you?
the other thing I would talk about is I'm an engineer.
Engineer.
I've been studying climate science. I put in about 10 years studying climate science. Last 5 years I've been studying COVID. I've been studying medical science.
Oh.
So yes, I am a science guy.
Okay.
I'm certainly that.
Who do you want? Who do you watch? Do you watch?
Oh, you betcha.
Do you
I've
watch
been doing engineering for a long time.
Do you watch TWIV? This
Paul
week in
Beckwith?
This week in virology. Do you watch
No, I
any
don't
of
know that one.
Okay. I wondered because there's a lot of good ones with actual virologists and
Oh,
doctors.
for the
You
co-
know, for studying viruses.
Oh yeah,
I
Doctor. I watch. Yeah.
Vincent Racanel. Vincent.
John Campbell in the United Kingdom.
He's all right, but Vincent Racanello's better.
Dr. Weinstein.
Okay, so you're on the other end of the spectrum
Dr.
than
Weinstein,
me.
who
Yeah.
lives just down in the court.
Who's a psychologist who I do not follow. All right.
Yeah, I've been studying. I have a degree in organic chemistry, so I know about pseudouridine modified mRNA and the carcinogenic and mutagenic effects of those kinds of things. I've learned about the immune system. My immune system is rocking. I have not had trouble with COVID at all. I went right through it.
Good. I got
quit
it once.
The medical system here before the coup hit. I hit the medical system, and I've been doing fine. Well, I have had it a few times. It was nothing at all. It was extremely minor.
Well, you're very
so yes,
lucky.
I have had it, and that's a good thing, really, because that gives you your natural immunity. Your natural immunity gets sparked up. Well, they found in proper research done in the UK.
Well, I work
they
with the
found
public,
that,
so I've had it 4 times.
99% have had
Who's that?
COVID virus. It's just
Karen? Was that you, Karen?
50% didn't know they had it.
Yeah, I work with the public, so yes, that's Karen. I've had it 4 times, and 2 were mild, like a cold, but 2 were very bad, very bad.
Plus, there's
So
a
I
lot
think that
of-
some of it depends on what strain you get, as well as
And there's a lot of long.
as well as what condition you're in when you get it.
Uh-oh. What happened to my... Are we all still here? We're all still here, right? I just got something about the recording.
I'm here.
You froze up just a little.
It said it wasn't
I think I'm
recording.
here still.
Yeah.
I'm going to... All right. I'm going to... There was somebody else that was joining also. And I don't know who was. If you were...
You want some of us to hang up?
No. I don't think it's...
I can go out and come back.
Well, I'm glad that you're healthy, Karen. You know,
Come back
because
later.
a lot of people have long
Yeah,
COVID.
yeah, I'm feeling good now.
And I hated having it. And I've learned a lot also, but I'm a little, it is a thing. People do get things, and I think you're right, Karen, that it's the strain. But again, all of us, none of us here are actual immunologists or any of that. So it's just interesting to learn as much
Before
as
I
we
go,
can. Yes. Yeah.
Before I get off right now, I just wanted to put out there that I've been teaching a climate literacy course for adults at the public library. I'm a librarian, so I've been teaching that for over a year.
As the Arctic opens up, the ice leaves, and it becomes more of a yearly thing versus what we had just a few decades ago. As that opens up, it opens up more water to the atmosphere, more liquid water. And everybody talks about the heat of fusion, the energy to freeze and thaw water. However, 7 times more energy is needed to evaporate water. So now you have water exposed to an atmosphere. And it's taking and cooling that water surface.
Okay.
It's 7 times more energy than freezing water or thawing water. So you have this tremendous cooling thing occurring as you get rid of the ice.
Oh.
Which may explain why some of this has flattened out lately. It hasn't dropped off like a few years ago. People were predicting an ice-free Arctic, in 2016 or 2020.
Right.
But it's been leveling out and kind of hovering in an area of minimum of about 2 or 3 million or 4 million kilometers squared of ice.
Right.
And so there's got to be some negative feedbacks occurring there.
Can I interject?
Sure.
A picture is not worth a million words. I've been to the Arctic. There's an entire continent of ice that has disappeared. Like if Cuba just disappeared suddenly, people would go, "Holy cow, look at that." But the ice is it has leveled off, but for all intents and purposes, when I was born, Santa Claus lived up on a mountain at the North Pole. And of course, as I grew older, my perceptions changed. But when I actually went and had a look, what struck me the most was how terrifying that place is in a sudden way. It is in no way at all like being in a city or a community.
Right.
It is a terrifying place at times and utterly beautiful. But a picture to show I'm sure you know what I mean, a stream of glaciers just pouring down a mountain pass and caving off into umpteen numbers of places around the world. And they're 80 meters tall or 200 meters tall and or 200 feet or 200 yards tall, or like a quarter of a kilometer high or a quarter of a mile high, and it's breaking off and falling into the ocean. A picture just is not worth a million words. It just is not at all. To actually see that.
That's why it was so profound for Jennifer when she flew over Greenland and saw for her own, with her own eyes. That's what started her down the whole rabbit hole of learning about the ice. Steph had a question. Hi, Steph. It's good that you're here. Steph, you said, hello, everyone. I've been wondering about this too. How much does the melting ice cool the water? Bimmjim or Rollinswitch? I want one of you.
A lot.
One of you are
okay.
Alan, go ahead.
How much does it cool the water? Well, the ice acts as an insulator, keeping the water warm below it. When you remove the ice and now the liquid is exposed to cold air, you're going to lose a lot of heat.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's another one. But if I might move on to another negative feedback that's happening across the world and maybe even more powerful.
Yeah.
Desertification. As the deserts are increasing, such as the Sahara and some other deserts, they're moving and growing. What you have is a large albedo change. The desert is more reflective. And not only is it more reflective, but it's all unlike ice, it exists in a world that has sunlight many times greater. The flux is much higher. So
and it's 24 hours. And it doesn't change from day to day. It is direct sunlight.
Yeah. There's not many clouds, and so you're bouncing back a huge amount of radiation. And as this land area grows, you're cooling the earth in a natural way, and people are fighting this. Instead of moving to a better place, they're trying to stop the deserts. And the deserts are a cooling mechanism.
Yeah, but are they a cooling mechanism when they're full of solar panels?
Of course not.
I know. That's another whole thing. I did a quick little thing. What is it called?
Can I just ask you, as a cooling mechanism, in what aspect is it a cooling mechanism? Where it's taking energy from the sun, the radiation, and it is putting that energy where?
It's putting it directly back into space, because it's the land that had greenery on it, which is pretty much neutral as far as radiation goes.
Sorry, I must be a little confused. So
to desert.
What land area are we talking about?
Desert.
Along the boundary of these growing deserts has been some green growth, and before that, even greener growth. As that green growth disappears and it turns to desert, the albedo changes. It gets much whiter, and more electromagnetic energy is reflected as it comes down. It's immediately reflected back up.
Right.
So you're losing, you're not getting the energy to stay in the atmosphere because it's high frequency energy and it hasn't been converted to heat yet.
God.
It's directly reflected back.
Well, strangely enough, the Arctic's a desert too. And I can tell you, when it is hot in the Arctic, it was 80 degrees where I was, which doesn't sound like a lot, 80 degrees Fahrenheit. But up in the Arctic, that was sweltering. And what happened in that desert was things would heat up, like a radiant heater in a garage, how it doesn't heat the air.
Mm-hmm.
It heats the objects in the room by radiating into that.
No kidding.
So the idea that the energy comes from that radiation and is transferred into the objects around it is that, like, that's heating the earth. There's no question about it. It was hot there. I went down to the river there at the edge of the bank and I dipped my hard hat on. It's dumb to say. It's like somebody hit me with a 2x4. It was so cold. It had just broken up. But on land where I was, it was hot. Hot.
Yeah, what happens there is you have shortwave radiation of infrared. Wow. But then when that strikes an object, that object then radiates a long wave. And the long wave is what gets stuck in our system because of the interaction with carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases, water and such.
Yes, correct.
But with the fact that you have the broadband frequencies coming down from the sun and everything of high frequency most of that is being bounced back by a reflective surface. Wow. That never interacts with the greenhouse gases. And therefore, that is reducing the amount of energy coming in. Just like that whole idea of putting mirrors up everywhere, which I thought was a little silly because, well, whatever. But
solar panels do the same thing.
As the desert grows, just like as ice would grow, but the desert gets a lot more flux than the poles. As that desert grows, you're sending radiation back, and therefore you're
I don't
doing the
think sand's
job.
particularly reflective at all. It's a
What was that?
scattered. I don't think sand's particularly reflective at all. It's
It's somewhere
it's
around
all granular, so it doesn't.
0.7. Its albedo is about 0.7. So you're going from what it was used to be 0.3 to 0.7.
Well, what's ice? Like 100%?
Ice, it depends on the condition of the ice and snow. That can be anywhere from 0.6 to about 0.9.
So a desert of sand is more reflective than ice?
Or pretty well, it's not more reflective than the best kind of ice, but it is.
That's
more
wild,
reflective
and
than
you can understand it because it's light. I mean, it makes sense to me.
And then as the snow changes and the ice changes, there's tremendous changes in its structure. So how much will get absorbed and re-reflected internally does change in snow. And sand, or whatever the deserts are made of, but just the fact that they no longer have green growth on them,
right,
makes them more reflective. So your worst kind of desert might be down as low as 0.4, but it's still better, way better than a dark surface like water. And when as these things grow, and it's over huge, vast areas, so it doesn't have to change a lot. You're suddenly sending energy back, a lot of energy back, and then people are trying to run out there and plant millions and millions of trees, which I love to plant trees. That's great, but most of those trees are going to die. But
there's a lot of
you're going out and wasting a lot of time and energy fighting something that is actually helping. And there is why I get a little teeter or a little bit upset when all these scientists don't talk about the negative feedbacks.
That's really cool. They don't. No, you're right. That's really interesting. Wow.
There's a lot more, but it's too much, take up too much time now. But
right. But I think everybody's captivated.
I have deliberately searched for negative feedback loops. Negative feedback loops are the good kind, and I have deliberately searched for them, where Guy McPherson was deliberately searching for positive feedback loops, which are the bad kind. Now, Guy McPherson found 54 positive feedback loops. Meanwhile, I saw him doing that. I thought, I'm going to go look for negative feedback loops. And one of the biggest ones we know for sure are volcanoes. Volcanoes cool the earth. It has happened many times in recent history, the last few hundred years, that large volcanoes have caused winter in summer, right? And the biggest one was back in about 1820. It was 40 years before Krakatoa. Krakatoa was a bigger volcano, but it didn't cause that much cooling because there was no sulfur in the minerals above Krakatoa. However, this large volcano that happened before Krakatoa had a whole bunch of sulfur above the crater, and it blew a lot of sulfur way up in the stratosphere, and that caused winters after winter. It was like 3 winters in a row. People literally starved to death because of that volcano. It cooled the earth so much. So, and it was sulfur that did it. It's SO2 stratosphere has this effect of cooling the entire Earth. We know this. We know this to a high degree of certainty. And so if we're going to start climate engineering, which I do favor and I study from that point of view, putting SO2 in the stratosphere is the way to go. That's one way to do it. There are other, and when you do that, when you put SO2 in the stratosphere, you are mimicking a natural process. Okay, so that's important to remember. And there are other things we can do to mimic natural processes that are already part of the Earth system and cool the Earth system. Another one is dust storms. dust storms.
They're awful.
Tend to cool the Earth. That's a more complicated situation. But SO2 in the stratosphere is very simple. We know it works. And I personally would be chemtrailing the hell out of the Canadian Arctic if I could be. And you see, and this would be only an experiment. This is an experiment. And we need to do an experiment at a prototype scale. The concept of prototype comes from engineering. I'm an engineer. I'm talking about engineering the climate, right?
Ugh.
So prototype is where you do an experiment that's maybe 2%. 2% covers 2% of the Earth's surface. That's the proper prototype scale experiment. And if we don't do it that big, we will know nothing, because the problem is the Earth's system is far too complicated for us to calculate every little thing that happens. We simply don't know. We have to get our eyes, see what happens, gather the data.
No,
this must be monitored.
I don't want to do that.
Very well, extremely to a great degree, and do it. Oh, I do. What do you want to do?
Like that? Well,
does everybody want to die?
No, there's
my plan.
Yeah, but there's so many pros and cons to this, Jim. I mean, we're not here to debate.
Something?
Yeah.
Could I just say something as far as
exactly? That's why we do a
go ahead, Alan.
Experiment. That's
give Dane Wigington a heart attack. All right, go ahead, Alan.
As far as volcanoes go, yeah, you're correct. The sulfur dioxide does cool the Earth, but it's a very short life in general. It has to be something extremely massive to get even to the order of a decade. So you're talking generally a couple of years of cooling. But overall, volcanoes make it warmer because along with the sulfur dioxide, a lot of carbon dioxide goes up into the atmosphere. And there was a large one.
Wait, guys. We're not going to have a debate. We're not going to have a debate.
There's a large one just lately that mostly put water vapor. Instead of sulfur dioxide, it blasted water vapor. So it actually made it warmer. And last I was reading a few years ago,
you're talking that's the theory that Hunga Tonga is responsible for the warming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Carbon dioxide actually being put in because a lot of the carbon dioxide that leaks out is not coming out directly through eruptions. It's coming out through fissures and cracks in the earth nearby. And as you'll see, some of those African lakes that will kill you if you go near them, because the carbon dioxide comes up and then just there's no air for you to breathe. So what's happening?
That's monoxide. I have a degree in chemistry. You're not listening to me.
Yeah, but we're not going to debate this. We're going to probably move on because there's other people that want to talk. We're not going to debate. I did not want a debate show. I wanted everybody to be able to talk about a topic, not come on here, grandstand, and debate. I like the explanations, but if we're going to do that kind of debate show, I'll set that up for another time.
If we're going to do that kind of debate show, let's monetize it. Let's make some money. I'll play it. Not a problem.
I don't want to monetize.
Awesome. We gotta make money.
If anybody wants to send me cat food and cat litter, that
is not going to be
good
cheap.
enough for me. That's good enough. Oh, Mididoctors. I'm not talking about. I'm not going to talk about Tim Pool. That's ad nauseum on Sam Cedar right now. The big trip. Sam went to Tim Pool's show. Probably a lot of you don't know he's a right-wing podcasting moron. Anyway, is there anybody else that would like to come on? Hello, Wendy. Oh, Wendy's got a comment, and Wendy's pretty goddamn
this
educated.
is Tim Pool himself. Were you just talking about me?
Wendy says also sulfuric acid eventually combines with limestone or dolomite, resulting in CO2 plus H2O plus calcium sulfate or magnesium sulfate. And Wendy knows her shit too.
Sciencey.
She is, and we're not gonna go that deep. We're just not. Lisa was here.
I'd like to go deeper.
We're not. We already went. We dove into the Great Lakes. Yeah, we're back, Saddle Tramp. So anyway, okay, who do we have in here? Alex, are you?
That Great Lakes thing, did I tell you it was 30 years? And they used the word quadrillion.
I tell you, Sandy,
There's an
the scientists, when the scientists get started, I get in terrible fights with the scientists after a while. Especially neuroscientists drive me up the wall. I don't know why. And they when it's a time of stress and troubles and problems, they rely on the scientific method even more than usual. And they project and expect all the other people are doing the scientific method too. And they have a really hard time working within the group, in the multidisciplinary group.
Well,
So,
Paul Beck was all verbatim.
And
listen, my socks aren't the same color white either, but at least I can.
Alex, mute yourself, Lightning Rod, because I can hear myself, and it's going to drive me crazy. Mute yourself. Okay. So Alex, who's not mute? Who's got me on? Okay. Thank you for muting yourself. Alex runs this rather large X Twitter Spaces on Saturdays. What time does it start, Alex? 11 a.m.
11 o'clock Eastern.
Okay. He somebody's not muted. He manages 50, 60, 70 people in a clip that will want to talk. But in the spaces, everybody raises their hand and it's very orderly. Alex does a great job. But over the time he's been doing it, he really has gotten a taste of these kind of discussions and how, so believe me,
Well, yeah, I talked to Dr. Mann and Dr. Ripple and Dana Fisher, and I don't know who. I talked to all these people.
Yeah.
And they're just people too, and they're scared and worried and frightened. And it's the thing I'm trying to do is unify all different multicultural and multidisciplinary to get us all talking about the climate crisis, environmental crises all together. With artists, with mystics. I'm chatting with the mystic right now. She says I'm spending too much time in the coffee house.
Oh, no.
And I'm explaining to Janet, you're actually a member. And this is my process, is making coalitions with people. I've spent a lot of time on Free Somaliland too, which most of them think has nothing to do with anything.
No, it does.
It does. And I get really impressed on those Tuesdays. What was the thing you were doing all around the world in an hour? That was always good.
Somebody is not muted, or I am hearing myself in echo. Come on. Mute yourself, Lightning Rod, because it's usually you.
Check.
Collapse. It was the Collapse show, which I stopped doing because it was so overwhelming. Okay.
It was really good, though. I really liked those.
I'll bring it back.
Well, you don't have to bring it back.
I like doing it. It's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay, who got me on? Because if it's going to drive me nuts, I don't want to hear myself. Mute yourselves. All right, now I don't hear myself again. So you see, whoever's unmuting and muting and listening to me, I know you want to listen to everybody. So,
Are you talking about me again? I didn't do this.
What happened to the British chap who was straight talking the evils of America? Well, I'd say the evils of the American political system, the evils of the fact that we are so corrupt, that money is in politics, that people are propagandized to the max, and that misinformation and disinformation spreads everywhere. It is not everyone, but it's only getting worse because social media, I'll get you he wants to come back in. The link is in I thought I put it in. Anyway, it's not all of us, it's not all of us. And what you see on social media, that's another thing. I notice where I live, it's very red, okay? It's very red. But when you're out and you're in town, little rural town, nobody gives a shit. Nobody's wearing Trump shit. Nobody's doing it. You know, there might be signs all over the place, but nobody's fighting. I don't think there's going to be a civil war. You know, all that horse shit. And do you think, you know, here's another thing. Do you really think all those people from J6 went to prison? You think that all these people want to do a redo? Yeah, they want to go back to prison? Because this time, the administration is set up for this shit.
And Biden's president this time.
Yeah.
I just figured out I had this tablet on a speaker. It was probably doing feedback.
Okay, well.
Is it better now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Way less annoying.
Hi, Domenico. Was saying hi. Hello. Good for the environment. What's good for the environment? He said thermonuclear fusion is good. It just has to be free. Royal Dutch Shell has already imposed its will for profit on that industry. Is this fusion? So we don't know. I mean, I don't know enough. There's other people that do. Did you want to, I mean, you could certainly come on and talk about it. We're not debating. It's what you want to talk about, but we're not going to go into debates. Okay, somebody else is coming in. Who is it? Who is coming in? I'm going to give this next person the number 10. No, who is coming, who just came in? I see Bimmjim.
I did. Alan.
Alan's here. Alex is here. Lightning Rod's here. Looney's here. Who is guest number, who's guest number 4? I don't know who it is. I gotta get rid of all these. I don't know who guest number 4 is.
Well, didn't I put my name?
Oh, Donald, you're there. Was it Midi? Is he coming back in? That's what I'm trying to find, if that's Mididoctors from the UK that's coming back in. Did you come back in, Mididoctors? Did you? Kind of cool. No, Steph. Wait.
I don't think he came back in.
Oh, I wanted to read.
He wants to, though. He said he wants to.
I put the link in there. Steph says, don't really expect a civil war, but I do expect a bunch more of those stupid boat things like that, where there will be a lot more flags and other paraphernalia. I'll let them. Who cares about them? They're in Florida. Florida. They're going to be underwater anyway. My gosh. Oh, Wendy Delis, do you want to come on the show? If you do, All right, here's another question. Are we extra vulnerable over the 72 hours cyber attacks and all that? Who knows? I don't know if that's conspiracy or if we should just stay home for a couple of days, and if crazy people want to run around and do stupid things, let them. Wait, we have
Fuck them. Let them do it.
Does humanity just have a Thanatos complex or the overlords at the top? It's the alien cortex, if you remember that. Lord Hugh. He passed away. Lord Hugh Are a Dumbass was his channel, and he had a whole theory. Do you remember him, Alan?
Oh, I certainly do.
Who's in the green? Mididoctors. Okay, I'm going to bring you back. Let's see. I wonder how long it's going to take for this thing to kick me the hell back off. And then for me to... Okay. Hello, our friend from the UK.
Hello.
Hi. Now, did you have something, or was somebody wanted to say... Oh, they asked you. Because you said you think the United States...
Yeah, go on, ask again.
Yeah. You there?
Yeah, get him to ask again.
That about, do you know what your thoughts were about America from the UK?
Well, I think everybody's covered everything. On a personal one-to-one basis, nobody's any different. I mean, for instance, I don't think the British people, if you took a British person, they lived in America all their life, they wouldn't do anything differently. It's not an innate Americanness in the personality of people, but I mean the actual systemic way everything's set up it's a real problem. It really is a real problem.
Well, you would say that. You're
Everything
from Surrey.
gets boiled
Come on.
down into electoral.
Okay, are you active in Scientist Rebellion or XR or Just Stop Oil? Minnie, are you in any environmental groups? Did he hear me? Mididoctors? What happened to him?
Really?
All right, wait a minute. Let me see where maybe he got kicked out again. It's not perfect software to do this
God.
shit. No, I'll bring him back. I think he's back.
The world of technology.
Yeah, I know. All right. Okay, you back, Mididoctor? Can we hear you now?
Yeah, I got kicked off. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it just
I don't know either. I'm going to have I'll have a list of questions to write to the people, So, all right. You think we're crazy. All right. First of all, she wanted to know, are you active in anything like Scientist Rebellion, XR, or Just Stop Oil? Are you at all an activist?
Well, not exactly very active at the moment, but I was until before COVID. I had to come home and look after my mum for COVID. Basically, I had to come up north and abandon my life in London. But yes, prior to that, I would have been considered an activist in many things.
Oh, that's cool. Right.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not so much an organizer, just sort of like making up the numbers, really.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Said I was really influential.
No, but there's nothing wrong with that.
But I mean,
go ahead.
When I is that me?
We can hear you.
Who's that? Is that me?
I can hear you.
When COVID hit, basically the only contact I have with the outside world is through the bloody internet. Because my mum, is dying of cancer, and I have to look after her. She lives in the middle of bloody nowhere, right?
Right.
The only people who live around here are really old.
The UK still has the middle of bloody nowhere?
Oh yeah. Well, it's still that. Well, I mean, it's relative. I suppose it's relative. It's not a log cabin in Montana. You know what I mean? But but I mean, it's sort of it's a sort of equivalent British thing. So in other words, it's like there's no bus stops or anything for like 2 miles, which I suppose is nothing in America, is it? But I mean, I used to live in Hackney.
Well, it's a good thing. Have you been here though? You've been to the States?
I've been to the States. I've been to the States 3 times. Once to the East Coast, once to the West Coast, once to the South. New Orleans is a great city, isn't it?
Looneytunes.
It's a shame it got washed away.
Andrew's from Louisiana. Yeah. You there?
Yeah. It's a proper melting pot place. That is. Yeah. I was in New York in the late 70s, early 80s, and Washington DC, did DC and New York.
So you saw.
And then I saw quite a lot of America, and I went to the sort of tourist. I went to the Grand Canyon. You know what I mean?
Ooh, I see.
Right,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a big hole in the ground, isn't it? It's one of those things that you see on postcards. Well, that's better in real life.
Do you know that the
postcards are always touched up.
Yeah, one of our partners here, Antonio Reed, who does shows with us, he does the State of the Planet. He does shows with me. He just visited there, and he did a hike across the whole thing. The pictures are
the whole
Grand Canyon. Went down and hiked the whole thing.
Yeah, that'd be a tough hike.
Well, he's young.
It's a big
he could do that, but he said it was. Holy crap. He said it was.
Yeah, it looks rugged terrain. I like the way it's just there, and you're on a sort of plateau, because it's with the sort of it's cut through, and you can't see it until you're right next. You don't get any warning it's coming up. You just turn the corner and like bloody hell.
Bloody hell! I love
There
the
it is.
accent. Bloody hell.
You know what I mean? There's a big hole in the ground, isn't it?
That's all everyone had. Yeah, go ahead, Looney. Do the bloody accent.
Oh, the bloody accent.
Yeah.
Oh, the bloody accent again. I don't know why they use it.
I like the redwood tree. I went and saw the big trees
Oh, in California.
in Sequoia National Park, north of San Francisco. Innit? You go across the bridge
Mm-hmm.
and you find the big tree. I thought that was impressive. They had one of them that was cut down, and I could distinctly remember. It was years and years ago, but I always remember they had all the rings on the tree, and it would have an arrow that goes, Jesus born, Declaration of Independence. These arrows
Yeah.
and what ring with what year. You know
Oh
what I mean?
my
So I
God,
thought
the correlating
cool,
ring. Aw.
I loved all of that. Yeah.
Oh, hi, Raza. We have another UK person. If you're feeling suicidal, vote for Trump. Thanks. That's Raza. He's from the UK. You want to call in, Raz? But if he does, I think I'm going to have to. We'll see. I don't think I can keep everybody on. I don't want to get kicked off again. And Domenico made a comment about StreamYard, but I've been using Ecamm for years, and I love this software. I do. I really love Ecamm Live, and I've had it for years, and it works for me. So it would be a calling app. Actually, Ecamm works with Zoom, and I've just not learned how to do it. Maybe Zoom would be a better way. I'll figure
This seems
it out.
simple enough.
I mean, if I do this again, I don't do this very often. I just thought Sunday afternoon, everybody's probably wants to hang out. That's in our little family, even though a lot of people didn't come back. But it's nice. I've enjoyed listening to you guys. I just don't want any, to get into like deep scientific debates today.
Sandy, what about that Moldova election, the big Moldova election?
Well,
the one that was the EU one.
Yes,
that was won by the pro-EU lobby by about one vote.
Yeah, they just had it, and the pro-EU prime minister, she won.
Oh.
So that's a big victory for all of us.
Just one. And the opposite thing happened in Georgia.
Right. But this is a new vote in Moldova that just took place today. So the pro-EU president Sandu declares re-election victory. She had at least 54%, and that gets Moldova closer to the EU. They're adjacent in there, right between.
They'll be in a hurry.
Yeah, so that's a geopolitical victory today.
Okay, all right. Donald, did you have something you wanted to say?
Well, I had a question.
Okay.
But just everybody here in general, and I would like to say hello, Midi. Good to see you, or good to hear from you.
Yeah, it's funny putting a voice to the emoji, as it was, so to speak.
Well, I'll tell you this: I had heard Choki speak before. I have talked to her before, and you guys, besides one being male, one being female, you guys sound exactly alike.
We're both from Hackney.
Hackney.
Autumn.
Yeah.
Autumn leaves. Myself and Choki are all at N16. She's moved. She moved post COVID. She moved to Bristol. I moved to the middle of nowhere, and Autumn's still in Hackney.
Oh, I think I should do the Hackney accent. Maybe I should be a person from Hackney.
Hackney.
Oh, is it time for tea?
Hackney. Spelled A-C-K.
Acne. Okay.
Acne.
Okay.
A-C-K-K-E-E-N.
I grew up in Acne.
In London.
Acne.
In London. Hackney, London. Let's say London.
Hackney, London.
Spell L-A-R-N-D-U-N-N. London.
London. Very cool. Very cool.
LARNDUNN. London. Means
London.
pound. The currency is the pound.
Cool. Cool. Very cool. Well, Donald, what did you want to ask, Donald? What did you want?
Well, I want to know, okay, in the event Trump does win, I want to know how we're all going to act and how we're all going to feel. I want to know.
I'm going to laugh.
And the reason why I'm asking this is because I have heard some sentiments in communities like this one, and some people are going to move. Some people are just really just stressful type of a sentiment. Some people are given free online self-defense classes in the event.
Jesus.
Just in case Trump. I'm serious.
Oh, in cities,
And so-
maybe. Oh no.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, how I'm asking that question to everybody here. I mean, how are you gonna act? How are you gonna cope? Just in case in the event. Now, I've been paying attention to the polls. This thing in Iowa, some people are going off that, saying that
David Feldman.
Yeah, David Feldman for one.
Yeah.
And are saying that it's looking good for Kamala right now. But I'm just saying, in the event Trump wins, how are we gonna act? For me personally, yeah, I'll be distressed. I'll be angry, but I think I could probably get over it in a couple of days.
Well, a lot of women won't, because it'll be a lot worse for us in this country. 11 million undocumented immigrants that work in factories all over the country and have families are going to be hideously deported. I don't believe that they're going to be nice. I wouldn't even doubt that we aren't going to have firing squads at the border. I don't trust these people. No, not at all. I think that we will be over. And maybe the older ones of us that look like me, it won't be as bad because I can wear my camo and go to the store and, blend in, although I don't blend in really. But I feel a lot of younger people are going to be affected negatively, very negatively. I do.
And I recognize I'm a white cis male. I'm a white cis guy living in California. Yeah. Probably one of the most bluest states. And
Kim.
It's
where do you want to be deported to, Kim?
But I just want to get a sense how everybody's.
Yeah.
Well, does Kim want to be deported to Russia?
No, thank you. That's where Ivana is. Well, I don't know. I mean,
I live in California. I'm a white cis guy. So, look, in all reality, a Trump presidency probably not going to affect me as much as it is like those communities that you just mentioned.
It'll be LGBTQ people are terrified. People are scared. But I think what's really going to happen is how do you deport 11 million people over 4 years of their administration? Who's going to pay for it? What are they going to do? They told us what they're going to do. We just haven't talked enough about post Project 2025 world. We haven't talked enough about it. And I just figure for me, personally, I'm just going to lock my driveway gate and go do what I do now. But what about what about shows and being online and free speech and talking like we talk freely on YouTube? Who knows? Are we on some list?
That's also like another question I want to ask is how much of it will be overreacting?
Right. The first question, one of the things we're doing is definitely Native American Heritage Month, regardless of which way this thing goes. Dr. Mike he's just gone that direction. He's just totally going to observe National, Native American Heritage Month and talking with Red Cloud and Pup, and Lost Sue is back with us now.
Yeah.
Good. And yeah. The other thing is, we need the election results. We need to know who won, and then we can plan what to do. We can't make two major contingency plans at the same time. It's got to be finish this, win the election, and then we'll move on, based on that result. And if Trump does win, we already went through 4 years of Trump. My sense is it's just going to be more of the same. He's not going to come up with some, new idea or thing.
It's not him. It's the people behind him are way worse this time. They wrote Project 2025. They know what's going on. They know how to play the game. And quite frankly, Biden is a wishy-washy limp noodle as far as being aggressive in fighting back.
Well, that's another interesting thing is it will be Biden's lame duck period starting on Wednesday. Will he free Leonard Peltier right away? That would be nice. Will he declare a climate emergency right away? That would be nice. He literally has carte blanche suddenly, for a couple months to do whatever he wants without political repercussions. So that'll be very interesting to see what he does.
Yeah. What did you say?
And also that'll give us something to do if Trump wins, is to bitch and moan about Biden to do a whole lot of these measures to get ready for the next administration.
Right. Use the immunity, whatever the heck it is. Bullshit.
Exactly.
Yeah, he can actually do a whole lot now, but then what really we don't know because nobody's tested it. Nobody's tested the Supreme Court.
Well, that's always true in American history. It's an experiment all along. And certainly Gaza is another issue, regardless of who wins.
Huge issue. There's got to be. There has to be so much pressure on.
So much pressure.
This. And then John says, what will Putin do? He'll do the same thing he's been doing. He'll just
Putin will stop funding the trolling and the right wing effort here. He'll pull the money. It should be much calmer after the election.
What's scary about that? I mean, the two Ukraine and Gaza's hideous. Okay, I mean it's just hideous. But what I feel about Ukraine is, and a lot of people maybe don't agree with me, but I think if they fold, Russia's not going to stop. And people should be afraid, and they're afraid, I think, in Europe.
Well, Ukraine is never, ever going to fold until every single one of them are dead. That's how Ukrainians are. They're Cossacks. They're just never, ever quitting.
Thank you, Nadia. She says self-defense against the cops won't work. People have been quiet because they're going to stand idly by and look the other way while abortion gets prosecuted as murder and LGBTQ people. That's what I'm afraid of. They're going to get, imprisoned. That's what I'm afraid of for all these people I love.
Well,
it's
again,
it's genuine concern.
Genuine concern for sure. It's that part by part process of waiting to. Harris is likely going to win, first of all, especially with his Iowa result.
I don't take anything for granted because
of course
so many people are voting for.
I hope it's
others.
true.
A lot of people are voting for other people. A lot of people are voting for third parties.
Sure,
we don't know.
But we got to wait 2 days to find out who wins. I mean, that's the first things first. And then on Wednesday, we can move on with the next part of the plan based on that.
Well, then we'll follow you.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. Yeah. We have to wait till after the election in order to plan it. Yeah.
Well, what is Sam Cedars telling everybody?
Pause
it. He's saying, Sam Cedars saying there's two scenarios. Trump edges a victory on the Electoral College just with a minority in the popular vote.
Oh fuck!
Right? Or Harris wins surprisingly large. You know what I mean? So in other words, there's two diverse things. If Harris wins, it means that Harris will win the popular vote. But if her popular vote is high enough to trigger the Electoral College votes to flip, she'll suddenly flip loads and loads of states. And it'll be quite dramatic, right? And if Trump wins, it'll be based on, stupid shit in the law courts and whatever.
Yep.
But if I lose, I'll be going to jail forever, and I will never be coming back.
Steph says a vote for Trump is a vote for Steve Miller, all the Nazis. Stephen Miller, Stephen Bannon, Nazi Central, Jared Kushner. I don't know if Jared is a Nazi, but I mean, he's definitely an ultra-capitalist, greedy pig who wants to just, buy up the Gaza
That's who loads
Strip.
of the Nazis were.
Yeah.
People get this all back. People get this. Can I say something about Nazis?
Yes.
Sure.
As long as we don't get kicked off.
Okay. The whole everybody gets this Nazi thing backwards. They go, how is today like the 1930s? How is Trump like the Nazis? How is etc. like the Nazis? It's the other way around. You go back to the 1930s and look at the Nazis, and you should say, how are this lot like Trump and his cronies?
Yes, that's
and if you actually
exactly.
So what you actually do is you actually look at the characters like Ribbentrop, like von Papen. You look at all these people, and you can see that loads of them, they're not National Socialists ideologically. Loads of them, like von Ribbentrop was just a grifter. You know what I mean? He was just like, oh, I'm going to swap sides because that's where the money is. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of people who weren't ideologically wedded to the idea of Nazism who rose very high in the ranks of the Nazi party, even through World War II. So in other words, what there is once you get this fascist bandwagon rolling, people who are attracted to power and money will join in.
The Project 2025
So you don't have to go,
people.
you don't go. So you don't look. If you look at people in American public life now who are a bit dodge, and supporting Trump, and you look at them and he goes, well, they're not really a Nazi. Well, you go, well, there is, because they functionally become one, just irrespective of what their personality or their own beliefs are. Do you see? Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Does. It's like everybody. I mean, let's face it. It's like everybody who's rich will probably sway in that direction of Nazism, because it's against democracy. It's against they have all the powers. So yeah, there's gonna be people that will cross the line over to Nazis.
Well, I think it's going to be fascists. Nobody's going to use the word Nazism. Fascism. They're going to use the word fascist because that's the way. That's what it's described.
Right.
It's ultra nationalism.
I think people get. I mean, I quite like using the word Nazi and always have done, right? But that's just a personal thing.
I quite like using the word Nazi. You do.
Well, I mean, it's simple, isn't it? Everybody understands what that means, right?
Yeah.
They're the buy it back. But everybody gets that. But the problem with it is everybody, when they think Nazi, they think of somebody they've seen in a movie. How the Nazis are portrayed in movies and popular culture. But of course, it's not like that. The Nazis were just normal people.
It is.
You know what I mean? They're just normal, boring, idiotic people.
JP has a good one. Is it not what Bernie Sanders ran on, that America is just an oligarchy? Yes, but it's gotten worse. The oligarchy is now full of tech bro billionaires, worse than we've seen before. Even in 2016, the income inequality has spread so much more. There's a spreadsheet on it in just 9 years, how it's happened. Why do you think the stock market's booming? Because they don't give a shit about anything. And all the billionaires have their money behind the fascists because they want to be fascists, because they have enough money that they don't give a shit about the rest of us. Oh, somebody's here in the green room.
Hey, Sandy.
Yes, darling.
I've already said what I had to say. Thank you very much.
Hey, love you, Donald. Thank you so much, Donald. If you don't leave the chat though, but if you leave the green room, thank you for coming.
Yeah, well, I see a lot of people come trying to get on to.
Nadia's here.
Go ahead and
I'm gonna
kick
bring
me
Nadia.
off. I'm gonna go ahead. All right.
Hi, Nadia.
Hello. Good to see you on. So yeah, I guess I was just going to mention there was a lot more fascism than just than in Germany. I mean, for instance, Spain and Portugal also had kind of nasty fascist regimes that, well, the U.S. came in on its high horse into the European theater to save at the close of, I guess, the European theater anyway. And also, France had the Vichy regime with Pétain and Quisling and Norway and all those, and there were various who were, I guess, like in Greece, I guess the Greek fascists were then supported by the
Metaxas was a dictator.
Yeah. So, there's a particular connection to Franco, Francisco Franco, with Opus Dei and the faction who are going about their things with all the theocratic stuff now. Because, well, as you can tell with Leonard Leo and such, Opus Dei is pretty heavily involved here.
Yeah, and because of you, when you were my guest and all the things you wrote, that beautiful, all that information, I really delved into it. I really wasn't paying attention, Nadia. You turned me on to things that I should have known about.
Yeah, it's
I do think the whole world knows now, though, much more than they did, because, or at least everybody that's savvy in the United States has learned about Project 2025. Except for like a lot of people that don't have access, that just look at mainstream TV or media with commercials. They don't have access to understanding the big picture, and nor do a lot of them care. They don't think their lives are going to change. Here in rural America, I just think people just don't think their lives are going to change, because maybe they won't.
Yeah, I get that from a lot of people who
But I think
kind of don't really grasp. Yeah.
But people are already dying. Women are dying because they can't get abortions with ectopic pregnancies. But I think, what you said earlier, I do think there's going to be a lot of not nice things that we see happening. But I'm hoping it's not like that, but I just don't see it being good for anybody that is even on an immigrant visa, even on a legal visa. I have a feeling that they're going to go after the non-visaed people first. And as much as they say that, they want everything to be legal, I don't know. They're already saying America is for Americans. Well, where in the fuck were your parents and grandparents from, idiots? Americans, it's the melting pot. What are they going to do? Take down the Statue of Liberty?
Deutschland nur für Deutsche. Yeah, it's a pretty close match to the translation of the old stuff.
Wendy, the Russian dictator Vladimir Putin has fascist characteristics. Wealthy tycoons should take heed. Recently, another of the Russian wealthy, a copper kingpin this time, fell from a high building. I love Wendy. Wendy, I love you all. I mean, you all know that. This is my little family too. I love you guys so much.
Yeah.
It's still, we can't worry or be anxious too much about results until we get results.
Right.
Right. And Harris still is in the lead. She's the favorite right now. She's in the lead. When you look at the swing states, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, it's over. It's very simple. Particularly Pennsylvania. So why get worked up, worried, and anxious especially on a Sunday. You
Well,
know,
we're not. We're talking. Nobody seems to be too worked up. I get a little worked up, but I'm not. After this,
I
I'm
also
gonna go
just
watch The Penguin on Max
sweet, very nice. Yeah, awesome.
until my
Exactly. But
until
I
my
have to,
thing is up on Max. I bought it
yeah,
last
I
year for
have
a
to
year.
add that I really always enjoy listening to Nadia. Like she's really smart and just makes excellent points that you don't usually hear. I just wanted to get that in there.
Well, there's a
Right.
lot of nasty that's still up there. If you look into 1876, right, it's legitimately winning doesn't really end the story.
No.
True, but it sort of ends the chapter. It doesn't end the story, but it does end that chapter. We can move on to the next chapter.
No, the point of what I'm saying
Harrison
is
may
that
win. There really might be major violent outbreaks. We don't know, but we'll get there when we get there.
the point of 1876 was that something actually happened that year, which was the South, I guess, basically rigged a whole bunch of things there, and also violently overthrew a whole bunch of Reconstruction era governance and so on. And then while they did cave to allowing a Republican president, it had to be a moderate Republican president, so to speak, and then getting furthermore the concession that the Reconstruction gets ended. And
I gotta add that 1876 election was 185 to 184.
Mm-hmm.
It was a real close one.
Well, the certification of the votes and all that stuff or electors, that is, was a big issue there.
Yeah,
there were competing electors and all that stuff. So it's basically all the same kind of mechanics that actually Trump's throwing at us right now. So
right,
or, well,
exactly.
I say Trump, I mean the whole, I guess, right wing. I mean, it's not really Trump at this point, even if it's got kind of his brand name on it right now. Because
oh yeah, he's totally just the front man, just the face of the spokesperson for the whole outfit. Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. The rest of the outfit doesn't go when he dies or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lisa Fishbone's here saying you're everywhere. She is. She's everywhere. Lisa's everywhere. Hi, Fishbone. A new name in the chat, at least a newer name in the chat. It's nice. It's very nice. I'm glad I did this. And actually, today, I can't believe my back doesn't hurt. I'm sitting here for
awesome.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on unfortunately, Big Pharma has got me. I'm on a new, I'm on a new medicine, and my doctor's been bugging me for 4 years. The only problem is it does suppress your immune system a bit. I don't go anywhere, so I'll wear a goddamn mask in the grocery store. But the thing is, in 1 week already, I feel a difference. I have not, it's like, it says it takes time, but I already feel a difference. And if this happens to me, it's going to change my life. I mean, this was the most painful, awful summer I've ever had. And if this works, it's going to, and I should have done it 4 years ago, but she wouldn't because of the pandemic. It's going to change my life, really, literally. So there we go. Let's hear
that's excellent. That's excellent news.
Big Pharma.
You're going to give them a flush?
Hey, we didn't figure out who we should give a flush. Well, who does everyone want to give a flush to?
Everyone. It's always Elon every time. What about Trump? How can it not be Trump?
Okay, we'll do 2 flushes. First, well, there's a lot of flushes. We can, how about Stephen Miller and Steve Bannon? Why don't we do that? Yeah. Bye. Bye-bye. Yeah, we can get them. I think somebody is in the green room, but I don't know who it is. Or I heard another ding. Sometimes I hear these dings, and it's not anybody new coming in. But anyway.
It all happens.
She wants to know what I'm taking. Methotrexate. And everybody's going to tell me it's horrible. Don't take it. Well, I'm miserable. So I'm trying it. It's once a week.
Yeah, if it works. Do you snort it or what do you do with
it? you rub it in your arm. You shoot. No, it's just, you just take it once a week. It's in pill form.
Once a week. Wow. Yeah.
Anything that works. I'm tired of hurting, and I'm not taking prednisone or any of those shits things. So we'll see if this one works. Hopefully, hope for me. Have hopium for me, guys. I mean, I am one of those people that will not live through the apocalypse and all the other shit. But I got
You
a bit.
probably will.
I
You'll
got a
still be
bit.
on a streaming. And,
Yeah, right. I'll be streaming from
yeah.
the casket.
From
Just oh my god! I just got the idea
right.
for. I
But
just got
I
the
did
idea for a
also,
video.
That would have been good for
Sandy,
Halloween.
What?
in 1876, the Democrats hadn't won in 20 years, so they were pretty worked up.
What about that whole 1798 bullshit? Oh my god! That was like. These people are fucked. I'm sorry. They're just fucked
Yeah.
up. And I can curse. It's not monetized. I don't give a fuck. This is our Sunday afternoon, meeting. We
Right.
Sunday gone to meeting? Are we all dressed in
Yeah.
our Sunday best?
For sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So what
Yep.
else,
I
guys?
pulled up 1798. I think we should go with where Nadia wants to go.
Where do
Oh,
you want to go, Nadia?
yeah, I guess my hope, which is not very not in very good shape right now, but said I'll be able to make it out to probably either Ireland or Germany.
Oh. Okay.
So most of
Ireland.
the
A lot of doomers in Ireland. A lot.
yeah, most of it has to do with well, I guess work and I guess what they will allow or not. So yeah.
Okay.
I want to know what Nadia's prediction is. She must have a prediction for the election.
The
Electoral college. No guess?
I don't honestly know. I think if it's close, it's probably going to be another Bush v. Gore type story.
Huh.
Oh gosh. That's horrible to think about, Yeah, I like making videos.
Did you hear the big uproar with Zelensky in the Nordic Council? The big news?
Oh well, they're yeah.
Torstein was all upset that Greenland and the Faroe Islands weren't represented.
No, I understand that. Torstein, come on.
Hello. Yes.
Yes, welcome. Yes. So what would you like to say?
I think, Alex alluded to it. It's an uproar in the Nordics because we have this Nordic Council thing, which goes back 50 years or something. Even I have been live streaming for them back in the 90s down in Copenhagen with my Sami project. So basically now they invite some guy from Ukraine to come and talk about peace in the Arctic in Reykjavik. So Ukraine is welcome. Faroe Islands, Åland, and Greenland are not welcome.
Why?
At the safety in the Arctic. Not because they're small countries.
That's ridiculous.
And especially Sweden doesn't respect them as countries. Sweden. I know this from before because Sweden refuses to put Greenland on the envelopes when they send mail to me. I got some stuff with the Swedish tax office, right? And they always put Denmark because, as they say, Greenland is not a real country. So
it's not a real country. That's literally what they say. So who do the people belong to in Greenland? The Greenland citizens. Who do they belong to?
According to the law, they are self-regulated.
Well, then
they have a parliament and stuff.
Well, then you should, have you become a citizen of Greenland?
No, I retain my Norwegian citizenship because it's just easier.
Okay, but you could still do activism to help to fight this maybe become
No,
evolved?
this is the funny thing about Greenland. It's so based, it's so cool. So they already organized all the small countries in the Nordic area, and they
Okay.
say, okay, if we can't go to the peace meetings, hasta la vista, baby, we won't go to any meetings in the Nordic Council ever. So they're pretty worked up about this, and they're not going to leave
Okay.
that
All right.
as is.
Hey, Torstein, will they let Americans emigrate there?
Yeah, I think we already have people from the Philippines and stuff
Okay,
working.
I'm emigrate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sell my place and emigrate. Is it cheap to live there? I already like
It's
the
not
cold.
particularly cheap, but the thing is we have no value added tax, so certain things are cheaper because you don't have to pay the extra 20% or whatever for
Okay,
services.
we're all going. We're coming to your house.
Yeah.
You got an extra bedroom. I'm leaving. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
making jokes.
I was trying to explain a different point a few
Yeah.
weeks ago to
Yeah.
Gene, I think, so the thing is, and this you almost have to live in a very small country, very small in population to understand this, and it's not a point I usually make, but because we are 85% Inuits, indigenous up here, right?
Yes.
85% in population. Having, let's say, just 50,000 people from upstate New York, if 50,000 people come here, they are more people than the indigenous. So it would be kind of national suicide to just have 50,000. It's a small number of people, but in this particular situation, having 50,000 people come here would be like
horrible.
American Indians being invaded over again. Right?
Then I'm not coming. Okay. You talk me out of
you
it.
Can come.
You talk me out of
You
it.
can come.
I'm not going to bring 49,999 people with me.
Yeah. You just can't bring all your friends.
A few cats. Can we
Cats are okay.
emigrate with kitty cats?
I'm seeing 93 below zero over there. I'm not sure about this.
Get out of here. On your weather app? No.
No, on a record temperature, 1991.
Oh, you're telling me.
A record, yeah, but that's Fahrenheit, right?
Okay.
Yeah, 69 Celsius.
Greenland.
Yeah.
Greenland.
That's funny degrees, as we call them here. Funny
Greenland, the country of Greenland, is not even showing me.
It's not a country, yeah.
I mean, I can't. It's my stupid weather app. I know it's 26 Fahrenheit in Fairbanks. Where the hell is Jim? I didn't tell him. He should come.
26 is chilly.
And usually it's colder than that in Fairbanks. They were having a lot of snow. I really wish time would stop, Karen says. Things keep happening at such a relentless pace. Karen, we are a certain age. Everything goes fast, okay? Everything. So when you get older, it's just like you blink and it's over. And whatever you're doing, you look forward to doing something and it happens and it's gone. It just seems like that, Think about it. When we were all kids, didn't it seem like summers took forever? And you had
it says 24. I have no. How do you say Nuuk? Is that the capital of Greenland? Nuuk. 24 isn't too bad.
Well, wait. Trump could try to buy Greenland again. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, how did you feel about that, Torstein, when that shit was happening?
To Puerto Rico?
Actually, most people here in the media and in the politics, they took it as a positive thing. It's kind of a good thing for tourism and stuff. That some people want to buy it.
Really?
I don't think anyone was actually offended. As long as it was very very clear that they could just say no.
We thought it was funny.
Then it just became sort of a story, and the tourism business was happy about it, I guess.
Yeah, what is the tourism like there?
It's actually very small. If you compare it to Iceland, which is natural because it's next door.
Okay.
Iceland's tourism business is like 20 or 100 times bigger per capita or something. So it's just nothing, not anything we have.
Right.
Greenland has amplified or tried very seriously to increase. But they're kind of starting now because they built this longer airports, so it's possible to fly an Atlantic jet directly to Nuuk. So it's coming, and people are very optimistic, and they're building out the hotel sector in town and stuff.
So how's that going to affect the indigenous people there? Are they the ones that are going to benefit?
Yeah, I think everybody benefits from tourism to a degree. We're not going to become Costa del Sol or anything anytime soon. So.
All right. Well, I know my family has been to Iceland, but of course, like everything, they've been there. I haven't.
I have to say something about Iceland that I think I at least believe is a bit serious, and that is that since I was last in Iceland trekking, for 3 days over through the mountains with my friends and my ex-girlfriend back in the 1999, I think. They have actually banned camping, sleeping in a tent all over Iceland, which I think is a very, very bad thing.
Why?
Of course, it's because of littering and people going to the toilet and stuff. But I think it's a case of the bad guy in your classroom, setting the rules for everyone. It's kind of okay. So maybe some tourists were really messy.
Yeah, well, that's what happens here. It happens here. You should see it's disgusting in the state parks when people leave the garbage pails, and that's what even Sam was talking about, that literally human poop.
Yeah.
But that's of course that's the United States.
It's never actually any problem if you are just I can abuse the word civilized. If you're acting like people, you know how to go to the bathroom without it looking like a mess afterwards, right? It's a natural thing. 10,000 years ago, everybody went to the bathroom that way.
Right. But people now, there's a lot more people, and I noticed that people are just complete fucking slobs. Sorry. It's Sunday. We can curse. Nobody's gonna get offended, right? I mean, it's true. Okay. Even any march, you see these marches like in DC. I saw the Women's March, and I was hoping that there was going to be some video and see if what was left over. Every single time there's some kind of something, no matter who it is, it's a mess afterwards. The climate march I went to in DC in 2018, we stayed until everybody left. There was so much shit. I still, it's not in this room, but I mean, I brought home signs and just stuff. People just leave it. I can't stand people. I love all of you people, but honestly, I think cats right now in my life are better company.
Yeah, no, I think it's a pity for Iceland because, or for the people experiencing it, because the only real way to sort of ground yourself and be in Icelandic nature is to go to sleep there and wake up there and trek on, move on to the next campground, right? Because
I'm getting used to Torstein and his rants. Iceland has like one of the best governments in the world. It's like the number one government in the world. And
yeah,
and
but
they,
as a tourist, if you're going to be in a bus all day, every day, that's not being on holiday. Not the way I see it. So.
Yeah, but it's definitely up to the Icelandic people to do their democracy and figure out their own damn rules. There's just no doubt that how they want to do camping, it's their way to figure out what kind of rules they want to have or don't want to have.
Yeah, of course. But in this case, it's like the new rules. They happen to be pro tourism business because everybody has to pay more. You can't just go there as a 20-year-old or as a teenager anymore because
No, you
everything
should come to
will be a
America,
hotel.
man. You should come to
Everything they will
America.
be at hotel costs, and everything will be at bus
Crazy.
ticket
Yeah.
costs, right?
No, nobody can do that anymore.
So it's almost like saying that teenagers can not go to Iceland anymore. At least the teenager with my wallet back in the day, because I wasn't a rich teenager for sure.
Yeah, why would the teenagers?
Here's a comment. Iceland needs to reforest because the sheep eroded a lot of soil. Is that the case? Is there overgrazing?
I think it was the Vikings who eroded the soil. And stuff.
Okay, we're talking a long time ago. I don't have a Viking sound effect, god damn it. I have an ice sound effect. Dice breaking. Oh, I can have a lot of fun now. I'm getting silly.
It takes a little time to relax and get used to this stuff.
Well, I never do. I don't do Wednesday night when I'm on Left Past 10, but I'm a guest. I don't run the show. I just show up. But, this is different. And plus, your guys have been looking at me for 3 hours already. Next time I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to make more graphics to, put over my face. So you don't have to look at me the whole time.
There you go.
There I go. Oh
I think I did 21 hours this week, getting ready for election. 21 hours of talking all week.
You have no problem talking. You don't.
Might have been a little bit after Iceland, but Madeira and the Canary Islands and such were, I guess, colonized or whatever not too long after that. It was, I guess, some near Atlantic exploration before there was the getting all the way to North America. But, yeah.
Interesting. Wendy, why don't you call in? I like her comments though. Not much point in reforesting Iceland if the northern branches of the Amok warm water flow shut down by 75% or more. Forest will give way to lichens and perhaps the occasional Arctic willow. Wendy's brilliant too. God, there's so many brilliant people that are with us on this channel. I love it. Thank you for all being so smart for me to learn from. Really, seriously. I'm getting silly, but thank you. I mean, you guys are great. Great. Hey, Susan says, love seeing me. I'm not squirming. I'm not dying tonight. I mean, it's unbelievable. I never do these things. Oh, you're in the green rooms? All right, Karen wants to come in. I'm gonna let Karen in again. She must need to be speaking. Okay, speak, Karen, speak.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me again?
Hello. Yes, we can hear you again.
Okay. I just I don't know. I just wanted to get in on the conversation again. We need more women on here.
You're in, baby. You're in. Spit it out.
Well, I just wanted to let people know I've also created a board game, both a tabletop version and a human-sized version.
Really?
That lets people experience putting solutions together for the climate. I wanted to give people an experience of success, a feeling of winning.
Wow. But that's very cool.
Yeah.
You're probably the coolest librarian on the planet.
I just don't have enough outlets for all my creativity. That's the trouble. I'm almost too creative to live.
Stop.
Here's my little, can you hear my harp?
Yes. Are you going to play with us? Play for us? Ooh.
There you go.
We could hear that. Could you all hear that? That was cool. The board games is very cool. You're so creative. Like I said, you should be like winning some kind of best librarian on the planet award. And you really care. That's the thing. You really care about what you do. And it's so evident. And on your channel, when you do your interviews and you talk with people, it's they're great. And they're in person because you bring them to the library. And interesting people that are around you. So I appreciate it.
That's a studio. That's public access television from Dayton,
that's
Ohio,
right.
DAT.
That's right, the studio.
Yeah, we're really lucky to have one. Most of those have shut down. We have one pretty near me.
Cool. When the world becomes a massive mess, it is time for artists to make their mark. Joni Mitchell, that's for you. That's from our friend with many names. Bella Lugrisi with many names. Hi, Jane.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Good. So what's going on in your neck of the woods, which isn't that far from my neck of the woods?
I know, right? I'm just at work tonight.
Oh. Did you hear about the Women's March in DC?
No, was that today?
Yeah, well, I saw it on their big one, and I thought about you because you care for women, and I know we are in New York State, but it's quite frightening what's happening. I do have a question for you. I listened to, his name is The Thinking Atheist. I think it's Meta. What's his name? Anyway, The Thinking Atheist, and he was talking about an influencer on Instagram who was saying that she's a Christian and she's having this pregnancy in a cesarean scar internally.
Oh, I did a TikTok about this.
Okay, can you talk about what you think is going to happen, in the future with these places and states to our sisters and children and things?
Yeah, well, I mean, the problem is that when you have politicians that enact laws that don't follow the best evidence medicine that we have to date, you get women dying like they are in Georgia, in Florida, in Texas. I just saw tonight on Twitter that there were like 80-some OBGYNs in Texas that signed a letter saying that, 3 of those women that ProPublica reported on would still be alive if it weren't for those bans. So, and then this influencer is sort of, she's thwarting fate because a cesarean scar ectopic, and this is why I did a TikTok on it, because a lot of people don't understand the difference between an ectopic that stops in the fallopian tube and one that implants in a previous cesarean scar. And they can both be deadly. The fallopian tube, obviously, there's not a chance in hell that pregnancy isn't going to rupture and you'll start bleeding to death internally. The cesarean scar ectopic, about 1 in 4 might not kill you.
Oh, really? How does that work?
Yeah, so if the pregnancy is in the scar, but it's able to establish a viable blood supply nearby in myometrium that is potentially able to support a pregnancy, then you potentially could go to term. But you're playing Russian roulette with that, as you can imagine.
Wow.
Because if you start bleeding, you can bleed to death very quickly. So, I don't think that influencer is doing anyone any favors because she's playing Russian roulette. But I feel like if you follow her and you think that it's safe.
You can do it too.
Yeah. So I do feel like influencers, especially when they have huge followings, it's really important that they obviously not persuade their followers to be as stupid as they are. But that's, what am I saying? Of course, they, I don't know. I just actually listened to such a good podcast today by Moira Donegan, and I forget who it was with, but they were basically taking down this whole trad wife phenomenon.
traditional wife? Is that what the trad is?
Well, I mean, the fact is that a lot of these trad wives are like, they're millionaires before they become a trad wife. You know, the ballerina farm girl married the son of the CEO of JetBlue.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And then, the Nara Smith is a model married to another very well-off model. So, I mean, they're modeling a trad wife in a setting of like having ginormous resources.
Yeah, and that
which,
nobody has.
I mean, right? It's just silly. You're just being silly.
I hear
Yeah, or they're just being a trad wife on screen.
Right.
Playing at it.
Right. Well, you guys probably saw the last few days there was that woman that I guess she I can't remember her relationship to Trump, but it's some segment where she says, "I wish I could be a woman like women were in the 1950s."
Yeah. They're crazy. My mother was not that happy in the 1950s. Yeah.
I know, like, we're not happy with not being able to
Yeah.
buy houses or have credit cards.
No. No, we can't imagine it. And we grew, I know my age group grew up through all these decades of getting these and fighting for these. My mom particularly has, because she's 90. So she is just, she's just freaked out at what she's seeing, being that she was instrumental in a lot of it. She was a sort of a little activist, definitely.
Well, and that's what that Iowa poll is showing, is that the women over 60 are voting for Harris because they might have known someone or their sister or whatever. Women used to die a lot. A lot of women died before Roe. And so I think a lot of people are discounting the women in their 60s and 70s.
Oh my God. That's insane. I can't believe that's happening. It's like a nightmare. So that's just another thing to add to the list of the insanity.
When I was young, I always thought things were going to progress. Civil rights, women's rights, human rights were just going to continue progressing through my whole life. I never thought I'd see a rollback. I never thought we'd backslide after we achieved something.
No.
That just wasn't.
But those scumbags were planning to undo it for the last 50 years as we were doing it. Unreal.
That's right.
And I remember them protesting at the abortion clinics, and you'd drive and you'd see all these the people there. But it was never a big movement. Not a lot of people at a clinic. It was just enough to make it annoying for the people that work there.
Right.
Oh my God.
Well, according to that section in the book Falter by Bill McKibben, the Koch brothers were the ones that figured out how to weaponize the evangelicals as a political force, using abortion as the touchstone, and it never, it took off after that.
I like this weaponizing the women of Iowa idea. I think that Harris wins Iowa, it's over. You get rid of Trump by 2028, we've all forgotten him. We move along. Something's got to get better.
What about the rest of the whole movement? What about, how do you get rid of MAGA? How do you unbrainwash? It's going to take generations.
We've been talking about that all week. They're still part of
Fox News.
Yeah, outlaw Fox.
That's right.
Oh, but then the free speech people, they'll call us. They call us the fascists.
Well, you have to answer this for me because this is Tucker Carlson speaking.
Hi, Tucker.
I have a bunch of questions for you.
Because the front man, they've got millions and millions of religious fanatic maniacs who are there to be their foot soldiers, and it's also the billionaires who are bankrolling all this too are going to just put their money towards a new front man too. So I mean, it's not
J.D.
It's not over by
J.D.
And it's not even over. Yeah,
they
busy,
have
busy
them.
fucking couches.
And well,
I have an idea.
Okay.
I have an idea for what's going to happen. Okay, so say Kamala wins, and then we get to work on really setting our communities up for climate resilience. And the MAGA folk, which are some of the people who know how to build things and do work, they find a reason that's bigger than themselves. And they find they can be useful and they can gain respect from their neighbors for a different reason, for being a helpful neighbor and working together on winter, insulating and solarizing all the houses. There's so much that needs to be done.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's very nice and very positive, and I do like that approach. I do. But will it work?
They've already got something bigger than themselves. They got, their whole Jesus, the church, and all that kind of stuff, right?
The churches. Yeah, that's another thing. How in the world are these churches? How do we start a movement to start taxing mega churches that are so clearly advocating for Trump? How do we do that? How does the tax code change to get the right wing out of there and stop this? It is sick.
Yeah, agreed.
They've invaded NGOs.
And
they've invaded all the education. Yeah. They've invaded all the churches. It's got to be systemic economic change. It's got to be really big scale, not just little movements.
But that's IRS. That's systemic, big scale, because all these churches are corrupt. They have all violated the 501c3. The nonprofits have violated it. But the churches, forget it. They should be paying taxes. It makes me sick.
They will be paying taxes if Trump loses.
Yeah, here it is. Push for hearings on religious tax exemptions. There you go, Thank you, Burning Earth. Push for these somehow locally. Where I live, I'd probably be burned at the stake.
They're floating anything of the kind. I don't think it's on their radar quite yet, and somebody needs to put it on their radar.
Send them all to eco-friendly re-education camps. Yeah. I like that. I like it. Okay, I do. I like that one. Can I play with sound effects now? Go ahead.
If you're a Christian that's watching this damn show, and if you go to fucking church every day, you're brainwashed. You need to stop donating to these fuckers. You need to be re-educated and see for the future that you have been fucked.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, I think we all are of the same, mindset here for the most part. And, but like we were talking about earlier, one of the first things has to be to stop funding the war in the Middle East and stop letting this keep going and bleeding over to other countries. We can do it by just stopping the funding. I hope it happens.
Yeah. Right.
I hope it happens. It's crazy.
I'd like to hear Dr. Jane on that one. If she's with us.
That is a Christian project as well. If people haven't heard, you can find John Hagee, I think, online, getting quoted by Right Wing Watch, talking about how all to fulfill the whole end times prophecy of I guess the World War III in the Middle East, and 2/3 of the Jews getting killed, and then all the rest converting to Christianity, right? Because Jesus shows up in there, and then they all bow down and worship Jesus, right? It's
what?
No, not. It's the end times fantasy or prophecy or whatever it is.
Yeah, they're prophecies, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the whole Christian obsession with Israel is basically to end the world and summon Jesus, right?
Well, that's not going to happen. So, Jane,
and I hope it never happens.
Guess what?
Jane, did you?
I just talked to someone. Go ahead. I just talked to someone who, a coworker whose relative runs a tourism company that takes religious people on tours to Israel, to the Holy Land tours. And I said, "Oh boy, they must not be having any business now." He said, "No, business is booming." I said,
Wow.
"Why?" He said, "Because people think they want to be there. They want a front row seat for the rapture."
Oh my God. Just like the pilgrims when they go, what is it? The pilgrimage where all those pilgrims died this year? The Muslim pilgrimage,
Hajj,
1,000
yeah.
from the
Hajj,
the
yeah.
Hajj from the heat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Boy,
that chilled me.
Boy, do we have a lot of shit going on. I mean,
I
it's
know, total delusion.
overkill. Overdrive. Let's see. Why did you want to come on, Bela? The rapture occurred in October 2011. Holographic
Bela.
Jesus came by and found 3 worthy of ascension. I believe he said there were 2 atheists and a Buddhist. Oh, God, that's funny.
I want to make money taking care of their pets when they're they're supposed to pay me now so I can take care of their pets.
Yeah, really, that's good. We're all getting a little goofy right now, right? Do you want to come on, Emerald View? Do you want to come on? The link, it's just audio. The link is in the up in the top. I think I have it pinned. If I don't have it pinned, I put it in there 100 times. I'll put it in again. I've enjoyed this. I can't believe I'm fine. That I thought, okay, this is going to be an hour. Well, it was an hour, the first one. We got kicked off by my software, and I had to come back on.
Oh, I could tell the audience the secrets about how after we got kicked off of the first live stream, everybody was talking. Like,
yeah, we were still together. We were still together on the software. We just weren't on YouTube. It was wild. We could have stayed without being on YouTube and just blabbed all night long. But it's more fun to be on YouTube because other people then can join, and that's, that's nice.
And they were like, yeah, everybody else in the chat was like, where'd y'all go? Like, we disappeared.
Oh,
and I was in agreement with y'all.
It took me a few minutes to reset the new link up, but I did it. I got it done. So,
there you go.
Yay, Sandy.
Yay, Sandy. Yeah, finally learning after all these years. Yay! Should I wait? I'm looking for something. Wait. There we go. All right. Yay! Oh my goodness.
I could sing a song for you.
Okay.
Please do.
Do it.
Okay. Peace, peace will come. Let it begin with me. Oh, peace. We need peace. We need peace. Let it begin with me. Oh, my own life is all I can hope to control. Let me live my life for the good of my own soul. Oh, peace. Peace will come. Let it begin with me.
That's beautiful.
Aww.
And peace is it is with all of us. It is with all of us. Let's see. It's a little piece. There we go. Peace. That's my favorite ones to put up. Gosh, we've been on
shit, Kim.
3 hours.
No shit, Kim.
Never. This
No
is like
shit.
we're rivaling left past 10. Holy crap. But I don't think I'm going to take these down, and I'm probably going to just edit them and repackage it, even though I know that the chat was cool. But if I edit it and repackage it for the most, coolest shit that was on. Yeah.
And you're not going to see the part where we got kicked off of the YouTube stream on the first one.
Right. I'll make. Wendy said the YouTube chat and YouTube comment section is a special place in a good way. Yes, but not every place, Wendy. I read comment sections on a lot of videos, and there's a lot of ugly out there. Maybe, you keep yourself insulated. I'm out there being a social scientist of comment sections. And if I was to do an analysis, a scientific analysis of comment sections, I would say we are definitely doomed as a species. Although we are, but I mean, I'm a doomer. When you want the big, she's right, BB. Did you want to come on, Beeb? Did ya? Hey, Libby! Boy, you stay on long enough and people keep coming in and joining up. This is cool as shit. Oh my God. You don't need your camera hooked up. All you need to do, it's all audio. All you need to do is just do the link, and even if the camera doesn't work, we're doing only audio. That's why you're just seeing my face all night for 3 hours. Which I was like playing around and going, wait a minute, maybe you don't want to see my face for 3 hours. I really should have made a graphic to put over my face. And those of you, I had also made a video, but we've already shown it twice, the video, which, like most of my videos, are always doomy-ish. But, yeah. You think so? Wait.
Yeah.
The Doomers, Doomers were right. Sci-fi wall graffiti, year 2030. Yeah, that's pretty scary because the young people are, really seeing it. The younger Doomers. Okay, wait, Carrie. I'm a woman of faith and I have friends who are atheists, pagans, and even witches. It really ticks off my Trump supporter friends. Aw. That's okay.
Aw,
we're
too
we're
bad
not
for them.
Yeah, but we're not putting down faith. We have people that follow us that are that have beautiful faith. They're just not in the cult. They're not in a cult. That's it. Like Gary Hoover, one of our most wonderful followers. Gary is extremely spiritual. Sends out a newsletter, and he's always telling us how this happened, how spirituality and faith got sidetracked and destroyed. He tells us how. But it's not destroyed in his community because people like him and Jared Brock try to keep, Christianity the way at least it was when I, grew up and thought about religion, right? Okay.
Yeah, we definitely do a lot of spiritual, climate spirituality or something. The people that meditate and the mindfulness, it's all seen as a climate solution for sure, without a doubt.
Wasn't Michael Dowd in some kind of
he was
like a pastor or something? Or?
Well, he became a pastor. Michael was a regular dude. And then he found his spiritual calling. And once he learned about the climate crisis, he was all in, Is somebody new in the green room? Let's see. Sean Kelly. All right. It says Sean Kelly. Let's hope you don't kick anybody out. I'm looking for empty space. Okay. Hello, Sean. Are you there? Sean? All right. It says Sean Kelly. I put you in. I don't think you're in somebody else's spot.
Hello, is this thing on?
Who's Sean Kelly? Is that you, Looney?
Troll?
I don't know. I don't think so. Well, I don't know. How would would a troll find us? I'll put him up. If it's a troll, it'll be interesting to talk to somebody that's different, and see what they're about. Let me see if I can bring this Sean Kelly in. And, all right, Sean Kelly. Are you in? I can't seem to get... Hello, Sean. Are you in? Well, I guess not. I guess not. Wait, are you? Who is Sean?
I don't know who Sean is.
I don't either, but it's a new name and new people. All right, let's see if I can get Sean in. No, Sean left. I think Sean left. Aww. Oh, well. Don't be scared, Sean. We don't bite. We're actually really nice here.
You're friendly. Come on.
Yeah, we're good. Hey, has anybody been seeing the new political channels where, like, his name, the one guy's name is Dude, Doode, and they now, it's a big thing. They set things up like this, right? Only they have call in. Oh, that was you. Well, then what the hell? I thought you were somebody who had a different name. Anyway, so these new call-in shows are, they're call-in shows where they debate. And like this guy debates these Trumpers, all the Trumpers, and blows them all out of the water. And it is amazing how stupid they are. I mean, I was like, I don't watch this guy, the dude, he'll be on for hours. Hours. All right, let me see if we can get you.
Are you talking about that guy? His name's Dean? I've seen him. He looks like a young college kid.
Sounds like it's more than one.
WASF, I'm trying to get you in there. Are you there?
Sorry.
He looked. No, there's another one. There's another one, Jane. That
I was cooking.
Okay, there's another one. Why am I having problems getting this person in? I don't get it. I brought him in.
That's another problem.
Oh, Emerald View. Emerald View. Let me get you in. You're not coming in. Wait. I lost. Now my. Okay, what happened here? Emerald View. Can you hear us?
Hey, Sandy.
Hi. Yeah. Oh my God! It's a voice. There's a voice behind Emerald View. You don't know
How is everybody?
This
I missed most of the show, unfortunately.
It's okay. We love you. Oh my God. So great to hear you. So what would you like to talk about?
We all love you, Sandy.
Yeah, but it's not about me.
I
It's
don't know.
about
I
you,
don't.
So shut up.
I don't have nothing to talk about. I'm on the edge of my seat till Tuesday.
Okay, well, our seats are all going to be edged.
Yeah.
I don't think Tuesday is when it ends.
Like I said, we're we may be going out, but can we at least try to go out on a high note?
Okay, what kind of high note? Indica, sativa?
Yeah. Well, not the greasy orange stain note.
The what note?
Not the greasy orange stain note.
I know. We really don't want.
Let's avoid that if we can.
We don't want that. We don't want that.
Stench of his diapers is reputedly pretty intense as well.
But I'll just be so glad when this is all finally over with.
I guess we will all be relieved, no matter which way it goes. At least we won't be getting 100 fucking texts. Does everybody else get all these texts asking for money?
Oh, Jesus!
You donate
these emails.
It's gotten insane.
Well, listen.
Jesus,
somehow
emails from folks.
the right wing, somehow the Republicans got my text, because my strategy in the beginning to get rid of Trump was I donated to Chris Christie a couple times to see if he might actually be able to make traction. Yes, listen to me. I had a strategy because I thought, he was a whole lot better than Donald Trump. And I thought if he could, but I knew it wouldn't. So just because I made those two $5 things, now I get, hi, this is Don Jr. I mean, I get these stupid fucking texts, and it's just, and if
once your name is on the list,
I know.
You're done.
Hi, this is Don Jr. Lick my dad or else I'll kill you.
So tell me something about those lists. What lists are we on that can possibly be used against us? Now, I know this sounds very kind of paranoid and weird. What lists, guys?
If Trump gets elected, I expect there to be a knock on my door within a week.
Oh boy. Really? No.
Probably. They're like, you're on the list, mister.
You're on the list.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
You're a Trump hater.
I'm on a couple of lists, though, because I'm a member of I'm a member of the NRA, and I'm a doomer. So I'm on the NRA list because I read what they write, which is pretty hideous and awful. I started when Bernie got in. Bernie was running, and I wanted to know what they were doing. So if I'm on the NRA list, wouldn't I confuse somebody if I'm on some? That'd be pretty confusing. I figure I'm safe. I was going to do a show. I have of the mag. They're so horrible. Their magazines are so horrible. They're not tax exempt? They shouldn't be.
NRA's tax exempt?
I don't know. It's an organization. Is it? I don't know, but they're horrible.
Yeah,
social welfare org. Yeah.
Because they do a lot of lobbying, obviously.
Oh, just read their magazine. It is the most hideous disgust. I let my cats puke on it. No problem.
I'm on the Trump email list, and he fundraised through the whole time he was president. He would send out 2 emails a week asking for money the whole time he was president. What? Yeah, it was like having a grifter in the White House.
Did Biden do that?
That's his MO.
Did Biden do it? Because I don't remember getting anything from him.
I didn't get any from Biden. I'm on those lists too.
I didn't donate at that time to Biden.
And some of the creepy ones would be like, hello, Karen, you can have dinner with me if you donate such and such amount.
Oh, no.
He'd say creepy things like, I have a special evening planned for us.
Ew.
What a way to lose your appetite.
Ew, really?
Yeah, but this is while he was president. The whole time. He wasn't working. He was just raising money. That's all he was doing.
Wendy.
Yeah, I don't think it's spent a single
look
dime
up the NRA. Wendy, I have a job for you. Look up the NRA and tell me if they are tax exempt. After Wayne LaPierre ripped them off for millions, it's unreal that people are still buying their bullshit. It's sick. It's sick. And then you also get to understand what goes on in the weapons industry and the manufacturers. Holy shit. It's like a social experiment for me. Although everybody knows I like shooting. I do it in my backyard. But it's a hobby. So, it's not anything I'm ashamed of. Lefties can do that. I live in that land down here.
I need to get a gun myself, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. In where you are, you probably had to go through hoops. Oh, well, New York's gotten much more strict. But I think what do you think of the SAFE Act, Jane?
Wait, what's that?
The SAFE Act in New York to get a firearms permit.
Oh, I went through it. I did the pistol permit.
Yeah. How long ago?
2 full days. Last year.
Yeah. I went through the 18-hour course. I really learned a lot. But, do you think the SAFE Act is because I look at the SAFE Act and all these other idiots think it's terrible. And I look at it thinking it's great.
It's great.
You have to get,
like that.
You get trained and they do the full background, everything.
Yeah.
What is their problem with it?
Because it's strict, because it's not freedom. Right now it's hunting season, okay? In New York State where I live. So I'm also on this Reddit, New York Guns, and I see what these people are writing. And they're all pissed off because one of the stores they get ammo, to get ammo, which changed, all right? It used to be we could walk in and get, my husband was a hunter. So we would just go in and get all the ammo. That was it. Go in and walk out. Now you have to do a background check each and every single time you buy your ammo. So they were complaining about the store not being able to do their background check, and they were blaming the state. And it wasn't the state, it was the actual store. But I'm like, if you're going to be a fucking hunter, then plan ahead. Don't wait till the last minute to get your ammo, stupids. Anyway.
What would prevent them from getting ammo?
Anything on your background that is a red flag, like some, not any arrest, but something that is domestic abuse, being, charged with that, domestic abuse, any kind of assault. There's specific things in New York. You cannot get a gun legally if you have those in your background.
So what are the odds that a lot of these people have those on their background? So they're like, damn, I can't get any. That's why else would they complain? I don't understand why they would complain about it.
They were complaining because they couldn't get their instant gratification.
Right. They're like, so they want violent people to have They
are the
prefer
violent.
the violent people.
They are.
Right.
New York has, but the SAFE Act is a good. It should be federal, and it could solve a lot of problems. Although the right wing always says, "Well, then only the criminals will have guns." No, you can have your gun, stupid. Just go through the process. My God.
Right.
That's all. Does anybody think anybody should just walk into a gun store and buy a fucking gun and ammo and go home and fucking kill your wife? I watch all
That's
this
what
true
the-
crime
that-
shit lately.
That's what the gun lobby tells them they're supposed to believe. So they do it, right?
They
Because
kind of
they're
want the
part of a
freedom to
cult.
do that.
Let my
It's
I want to kill
a cult
people.
mentality. You know,
I
if their
know.
leadership tells them this is what they're supposed to say and believe, they're going to do it. You know, so if their leadership says free access to firearms and ammo whenever you want, they're going to spew the same rhetoric, even if they realize it's stupid.
Yeah, it's awful. It is. I mean, this year was my foray into true crime, and I couldn't believe how many men are murdering their wives. I mean, it's really fucked up.
Oh
Man.
yeah. Yeah.
And what do you see, Jane?
Well, because homicide of pregnant women is sometimes, depending on the state, the number 1 or number 2 cause of death during pregnancy.
Wow.
Wow.
So pregnant women specifically.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well,
Wow.
damn. No wonder the hilly-billy Trump supporters love their guns more than wives and children.
They do, seemingly, But like I said, I don't think that's necessarily the thing. I think it's that they're told what to say and believe, and they just repeat it because it's part of being that's what it means to be in the cult.
Right.
Some of them
And
also
it's
have
because they're fat hilly-billy supporters.
Some of them also have a sort of delusion that they're the hero. They're going to be the one with the gun that's going to stop the bad guy anywhere they are. And
right.
It's
I say,
even trained police, they say in an actual active situation miss about 90% of their target. So,
well, right, but
here they're saying give guns to school teachers.
If you're some guy coming out upon a scene of a shootout, you're not going to know and if you're a cop coming on the scene, how do you know who the bad guy is? Like, if everyone has a gun and they're like pointing at everyone, right? Who do the cops come and decide they need to take out? Right?
Exactly.
They don't know it's like
bad guys can learn how to point and say, get him.
I feel kind of bad for cops in those states where people are just, walking around like that. How do you feel safe in that situation where just all
Well, that's why cops are constantly having all these accidental shootings of people. It's because they don't know, when they come upon someone, even in a traffic stop, they don't know if they're going to be met with a gun, right? They don't know if someone has something in their hands, what they're holding. Are they holding a cell phone, a wallet, a gun, right? So the cops are in fear with all these people walking around with guns, and it endangers not only their lives but other people's lives.
Exactly, because that heightened state affects their judgment.
Exactly. So.
Damn. Boy, we have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
If Mididoctors is still here, in the UK they don't have these problems.
I think the Second
of course
Amendment
they have
is
lots of
misinterpreted.
problems.
They do? Tell us.
Like, for example, the king is such a bastard, and of course they will never give up the throne, and they will never give up the control of the prime minister.
But what about the guns?
The guns? Oh yeah, the guns are not allowed in Britain.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was going to ask Mididoctors about. He's there, right?
Right.
That's right. Wait, I'm playing sound effects.
Well, the statistics, obviously the statistics for gun deaths in America is like through the roof compared to other countries.
Yeah, so these people are telling us from other countries that they look at the United States as we are just an insane country.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah,
kind of
look
are.
at Britain. Britain might be our insane country
Jane,
too.
go ahead. Jane.
Oh, well, I had a question, but it kind of changes the subject a little bit.
Go for it.
Well, I was just curious. Did anyone see how the people in Spain were really mad at the king and the government officials?
Yes,
Is
because
it because they feel like they didn't warn them specifically about the storm, or is it because of their policies on climate change, or both?
I thought it was because they
Oh,
didn't
so
take
they're mad at
action
their
fast
king?
enough. But I didn't go into the. Isn't it because of how fast they did not? The king took so long to get there.
Like they didn't send out alerts about the flooding?
Oh, I
Like
don't
that?
know. You know what?
Does
I
anyone-
think I'll have to do a show on that, Jane. Sounds like compelling research, because we sure know how people in North Carolina felt. So why not look at what happened?
Yeah,
with that?
right here in Louisiana where I had Francine.
It's also doubtless the
That one.
connection to, well, Francoist fascism that makes Spain particularly pertinent.
It was because 5 days and more, no help had been coming. Anybody follow? I know you do, Jane, and Alex, you do. Volcaholic on X.
Oh, yeah, I love him.
Who is? It's a woman, and she is
Oh, it's a
chronic.
woman.
Oh,
No,
absolutely.
she's better.
And she's from Spain, and her she was showing videos of her family volunteering, and they're just they're just sweeping and shoveling mud. It is horrible. It's been devastated, and she is chronicling. Well, what she is really chronicling is planetary collapse. I mean, of all these systems. Every she says every time she thinks she can have a day of not tweeting or putting a video on, another disaster takes place somewhere in the world, and it's not because of social media that we have access. It's because they are happening much
Sure.
more.
We're going to see more and more of this from here on out. It's going to be the same news over and over until
right.
we
Another
can no longer get news.
Trump gets in, and they're going to just wipe the word climate change out of everything in the federal government too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Volcaholic is an awesome account, and I'm actively trying to recruit her to get her to join us. With no luck, of course.
Well, she's
You gotta support her.
constantly
Subscribe.
She's
It's not
working.
too much money.
And she's working, Oh, support her? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Does she have a subscription? Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Okay. I'll check it out. I didn't even realize that. I have to budget, but you know what? It's always a budget, but she's really worth it because her information and her videos are just, she's chronicling it. Yep.
Yeah. And I see her on Instagram as well. The same account.
Paul did it.
Last I heard, they had.
All right, I'm gonna have to bid y'all goodbye.
Who does?
I'm gonna have to go eat.
Okay.
I am, but I'm gonna have to bid y'all goodbye. My systems are dying.
Love you, Andrew. Looneytunes.
Love you too.
I really do. You're the
Love
best
you.
mod with you and Kim, and I love you both so much for being such great moderators. And I can't afford a moderator union, but if I could,
Oh.
I mean, I have such a tiny channel. Can you imagine? We're gonna do the environmental
I can't
coffee
imagine.
house. Well, I wanted to do a moderator show, to support the moderators. So it's not over yet.
Not over.
Good night,
It
sweetheart.
was nice talking to you, Andrew. And we could do a skit
Good
together
night,
sometime.
y'all.
Because I can do accents
y'all.
as well.
Ooh. Ooh.
All right. Ooh.
Okay. Good night, hon. I know
I
we're
have enough-
probably all getting
Maybe we
tired.
could know early if, say, Harris does really well in like North Carolina and Georgia and
Well, that's
Pennsylvania.
true.
I could do
That
this
is-
again. I
that
could
is
do
true.
this.
Yeah,
just
let's
have
do it.
I could
Sandy.
do this again instead, and then I could figure out why I crashed, and maybe
Yeah.
we could do this again.
Would that
It
be
just-
at 9 o'clock Eastern?
Yeah, I would do it at 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. This is fun. Oh God, we are a doomer channel. Oh my God, looking for news for fresh disasters. How sad is that? I mean, really, there's something else. I don't know. There was something else going on. I get all these little alerts of things going on in the. It's still. Oklahoma, Oklahoma, had terrible tornadoes, and there's tons of damage in outside of Oklahoma City today. Now, so again, shit's happening, and people that build in those plains states, building those McMansions and those houses they're this shit out of luck with those houses. You see them, they're just.
You gotta wonder why people build stuff in these locations. Because they're well known for natural disasters like that, even before climate change was an issue.
Well, yeah.
I've seen this. Wow, this in Oklahoma is terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, Emerald View, you are right. They were there, but Overshoot has made it way worse because they're building.
Oh, yeah.
And, where tornadoes would hit nothing but a farm or whatever, nothing out there. It's completely different because they're all being made into neighborhoods. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's so much more energy in the atmosphere now.
Yes, Carrie, the Democrats are controlling the weather again. So my friend Susan's telling me I'm starting to get restless.
I have family members that
Susan.
believe that.
That believe that shit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've had people. I work at a library, and people walk in and rant about that to me.
Oh my God!
I don't know where they get these ideas.
From social media, huh? Dane Wigington,
From
haven't
Fox.
you been? And watching my shows, I've been blowing these assholes out of the water. I can't stand them.
I'm like, send me what you're seeing, but they never do. It's like,
They
I want to
never do?
debunk this. Yeah. It's like they know that their sources are bullshit or shit, but it's like they want to believe it anyhow.
They're watching Redacted, who has. I did a whole show. I've done a show on Agenda 21, and I've done a show. I like those shows actually. The debunking these morons. But I'm not. I can't completely scientifically debunk them. I'm not a scientist. That's why I watch the debunkers. Do you know Potholer? The YouTuber Potholer?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I've looked before. Yeah.
Fantastic at doing that.
Yeah.
And he doesn't make money. He asks for a donation to a charity. He's not doing it for money. He's doing it because it's a public service, what he does. Yeah.
That's excellent.
Yep. All right. Well, I guess it's going to be time for me to go. What time is it anyway? 8:11.
I also recommend Sean, I guess the Skull guy, Shaun. He's got a fair amount of good material out there debunking stuff.
Who?
Sean, Shaun.
Okay, Shaun. All right.
He has a skull logo, I guess, but
all right.
Yeah, he has.
I do love the debunkers. I really do. I think the debunkers are great. I wish I could be one when I grow up, but I do so much. This channel.
We need more.
Yeah, I know. This channel is. Well, I'm on that Twitter feed with the debunking people, fighting misinformation. But I really don't want to stay on Twitter. I want to go to BlackRock. Oh my God. I want to go to Blue Sky. How did I get BlackRock? I want to go to Blue Sky, but they don't have the capability yet to do what we need, right? Right?
Not yet.
No, and we want, it would, and not that we want to be in an echo chamber, but we don't want all those fucking ugly trolls that are all over Twitter. It's just a hideous place.
Well, it's really satisfying to get them tossed off. That's just always enjoyable. Yeah. And, Oliver and I have been going every single day for 2.5 years. And we made a pact to never leave, to just go down with the ship.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't even on Twitter until just a couple of years ago, really. I wasn't at all. And it's addicting. And I have to put the phone in the other room just so I don't look at Twitter. It's not good. I know
No,
what's
it's not
happened to
good.
myself since Twitter. I wasn't even like that with Facebook.
Yeah. But
Hey,
it's better
Libby,
than
Libby, I have to answer this. This is true. I am the disability community is really big on Twitter. I did participate in the disability community on Twitter, and that was helpful until one of the big disability advocates turned out to be a raging right-wing Trumper, and I couldn't deal with her. She couldn't keep it separate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was sad.
That's almost hard to imagine that someone that's a big in the disability community would be a Trump supporter.
Yep. I forget her name now, but
That's a weird.
I stopped following
What do they call
them.
that?
Well, because
cognitive dissonance.
Well, think about some people are thinking that RFK Jr., as wacky as he is, they like him for some of his policies, like on nutrition, where he's not wrong. But how, and I'm going to ask Jane this, how in the world can he actually fight the food industry when the chemical industry donates so much money to the Republican Party? How?
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize, but the chemical industry is 20% of GDP. Oil and gas, fossil fuel is only 6%. So yeah, you are talking about one of the most powerful lobbies out there.
Right.
And then when you combine the chemical industry with ag, you're just, there's a reason that we can't get the kinds of protections that we need to stop using these pesticides on our food and all these PFAS on our food. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, RFK is the guy is a joke. Everyone, from the worm in his brain to, dumping the bear cub. And the list goes on and on and on about, I actually posted about that today because, he was single-handedly responsible for those 80 plus infant and child deaths from measles in Samoa.
Yeah, he was responsible. That's right.
Yeah. So, it's just a clown show, and it's crazy that.
But how does he think he's going to fight high fructose corn syrup? How?
There's a lot of farmers that are growing corn that might have some beef with that.
Yeah, beef with it, right? Have some beef with your high fructose corn syrup. I just think it sounds ridiculous. It's like rhetoric. Okay, he's going to be in charge of food. You're going to be powerless, dude, unless the whole country changes. And under this administration, that might be.
But every time he opens his mouth, it sounds like he's about to die. Am I right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
If Looney was here still, he does a good one.
Yeah, he'll be completely ineffective at anything he would like to do, especially in the Trump administration.
Anything changing the food system has to be an overhaul of the economic system first.
That's right.
And the electoral system. There's just no way. And he's talking about taking fluoride out of the water. That's chump change compared to what he would really be up against.
Yep.
Some countries deal with things like that by nationalizing industries.
Well, yeah, we need to do that with a lot of industries, but
yeah, that's our only hope.
Yeah, but it can't happen. It won't happen here.
Right now it's outside the ideal of governance that most people hold, but that's been inculcated into us over the last 40 years.
I know.
So if like Biden had 4 years to educate the public better about climate and about Trump and about just educate people. They had the platform, they had the power, they had the money. They could have put out, propaganda, let's feel good about our country videos and tell people really they're sort of effective when they're done that way. But so we need to get people to have a different ideal of governance and not just let the other side set the picture of what government should be.
Right. There you go.
And the fact that we can nationalize them, and that's still democracy.
And I think nationalizing energy is definitely something that should happen. Don't build solar farms. Nationalize the energy and put it on everybody's house. But everything I want is it's never gonna happen. Although I it's hopium.
Yeah.
Well, some things have happened that we never thought would, right?
That's one
know.
of those. Sam, ain't gonna happen.
I know.
Right.
Ain't gonna happen. And I hate to be so. I don't like to be so negative, and I want to be with you, Karen.
We'd all like to see it happen.
Of course.
Yeah, what's wrong with me that I just think we just keep plugging away and keep working and the results don't move at all. Just keep going.
That's what I have said. I said
the
don't
right
look
thing,
at the
right.
big picture. Do the right thing. Karen, how long have you been with me on this channel? I've said it. Don't think of the big picture. Anything you can do locally. Regenerative agriculture, all of it.
Yeah. We had Farmer Ed on yesterday, and I was stunned that Arthur Red Cloud was immediately like to Ed, have you been on a native space? Like Red Cloud just loved Ed. You know how Ed just goes on and on and on and on. And it was like, there's so many good people out there in so many circles. Yeah. We just need to stay a little bit positive and a little bit united. It's not complicated. It's not rocket science.
And I try. I do.
That's you do a great job.
Yeah, but I open the show reading limericks of doom. I mean, I can end the show. Life was hard. It's Benjamin the Ducky. Life was hard. Extinctions and unforeseen quirk, making us slightly berserk. I'd mind a lot less if building this mess hadn't been so much damn work.
Oh, that's so great. I love that one.
We are like snowflakes. As what you alone thought and felt because of the cards you were dealt. Doom's right path for you will be unique too, and also we're soon going to melt. There's two. I have both of the limericks of Doom books.
Those are good.
Yeah. There's expectations, some advice that's not moralistic nor unduly pessimistic as we slide down Doom's slope. Don't abandon all hope, just hope that's unrealistic. I read that one early because that's actually good. Abandon the hope that's unrealistic and work towards the things that are realistic.
Yeah, that works for me. I've become a lot more of a realist over the last couple of years, but I still imbibe in some, we'll say, hopium on occasion.
That's okay. You can admit it here. Nobody's going to know.
Yeah.
I do too.
You know,
I have a third.
I like to imagine that there's some miracle solution that'll present itself.
I think most do.
I don't rule that out. I don't think we can say that we have enough vision of the future in order to rule that out.
Right.
Because the history is full of big surprises.
No crystal ball.
True.
Although I have one, but not really. I have a crystal ball. I should do another show with the women. My updated crone show. I should do the cards again. Because I have so many new women following.
Oh.
I don't know if anybody knew. We are crone. I'm a crone anyway. I am a crone. Yes.
Wait, how do you define a crone?
Okay, hang on.
I'm just disintegrating.
I'm gonna look it up so I can say it right and not.
Maybe your great grandma was one. Witches were wise women, they say, and there's a little witch in every woman today.
What is a crone? Wait. It is crone definition and mean. Oh, it said a cruel and ugly old woman, but that's not the crone that I'm talking about. What is
Well, that's
it
definitely
mean?
not you.
It's divine feminine knowledge, deep ancient wisdom, facing our pain, feeling the sharp edges of our lives, trials and tribulations. There's a whole thing on it. I did a show on it, and I have the crone cards and all. It would probably be fun to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've got them behind me. I don't know. I've got a whole too much doomer shit behind me. Crone, doomer, all kinds of junk. Too much junk. That's another thing I'm doing this winter. I've been saying it for 3 years, but this time everything's going.
Yeah,
Is
I want to
going.
declutter.
I kind of like seeing your little trolls back there behind you.
You see my little trolls? See, I have a whole collection of trolls. Yeah. My daughter's baby picture from 36 years ago. Oh, well, she was Czech. Ivana, Czech. She's Czechoslovakian. She was from the Czech Republic, you know, and she eats her vegetables. And she goes, Donald, you lie. Yeah, can we see more of her? Oh my God, next Halloween. No, but Sam wants me to be Melania. I don't want to do that. I think I want to.
Oh,
no. No,
How about Ivanka?
Oh,
I don't
boy.
know if there's enough videos for me to emulate her. This is her. Well, Daddy says that Jared's going to build buildings in Gaza. You know, Daddy says this. Could I be Ivanka? She's boring. You're fucking boring. I want to be Marjorie Trailer Green.
Okay. How she was portrayed in the Shakespeare's McTrump was hilarious. They called her Desdevanka, and she was the power behind the throne.
That's funny.
And she was the one scheming for power and control.
Hello, early love, darling. More climate change pain will affect motivation eventually. Oh. And you're not even really the biggest doomer, but yeah. You're not wrong because it's happening in other countries already.
Yeah, pain isn't equally spread out, unfortunately.
It's amazing
So we don't have...
how. Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's amazing how people can remain in denial no matter how bad it gets. You don't see what's going on here. You don't comprehend that all these natural disasters, which are more severe than they've ever been, or happening a lot more frequently. 1,000-year storms happening every 5-10 years. But they'll dig in and continue to deny that we have anything to do with this.
It's insane. My first ex-husband is such an idiot and said that to me, about that. Don't you remember we always had those kind of warm days? I'm like, one warm day in October in 5 years is not what's happening now.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, record after record.
My poor daughter, she has to talk to him. It's her dad. Well, she loves her dad.
I really think it's a quality of our Homo sapien brain that we make whatever is, we normalize it as quickly as possible so that we can feel okay again.
Yes.
We're always seeking comfort and seeking to feel okay.
Absolutely.
So we either put it out of our minds, deny it, distance ourselves from it, say, oh, that happened to them, but it couldn't happen to me, or I'm living in a safe place, or whatever it is that makes us feel better.
Yeah. Absolutely. You're right.
And the power of propaganda and all this American prosperity on top of all that, to just deny everything, stay within the gated community, and enjoy your TV show and your beer and your breakfast cereal.
Ugh.
It's right.
Yeah.
The American exceptionalism. We can do no wrong.
Right.
Regardless of what we do, even if it looks bad on the surface, it's good because we're doing it.
Yeah,
America's
well, unfortunately, and I hate to say it like this, but Israel's feeling the same way. Exceptionalism, and they can do whatever they want, and it's wrong because all religions should not. No one is exceptional. No one is exceptional. Everyone is the same, and nobody has the right to do what they are doing.
That's correct, and we'll seriously get to that on Wednesday.
Jane?
I'm just about ready to.
Jane,
Yeah.
are you
Ready
ready?
to go?
Jane's leaving. Can I put you on the camera real quick, Jane?
Oh, sure.
Okay, everybody, let me get her up here. Jane is going to be saying goodbye. Hi, Jane. You look great at work. I should have had you on so they could look at your
Yeah.
face and not mine the whole time. She's leaving now.
Well, let's do Tuesday. I'll be here same time.
All right.
Same place.
All right, we'll do
Think
this.
about it.
I'll do it. Well, it's easy. I don't have to think about it because all I have to do is make sure I figure out why we got kicked off the first time.
There are always glitches. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want that to happen again. So I'm gonna take these videos down though, because I'm gonna edit and make them.
Make the highlights.
Yeah, because it's just
Yeah.
too much time to be up. I mean, I always leave those left past 10s up, but nobody really, this is important. I love you, Jane.
Bye, friends.
Bye, Jane.
That was great. That was wonderful having Jane. This has been wonderful. Thank you guys. My mental health feels so much better.
Good. I invited Jane. I got to take credit for that one.
Oh, that's awesome. I had put it up on TwitX. I put it up there. But I think I'm so I don't know. My Twitter feed gets like nothing. Nobody looks at it. It's so small. It's very small.
I'm very busy, a big influencer these days. It's like the last thing in the universe I wanted to do.
She was busy. Busy. You're busy. Yeah, you're busy.
I'm busy.
Well,
yes.
you want to be busy. You're a social being.
True.
I'm not always a social being. Not anything. But anyway, I think we're gonna go then. Kim, I want to thank you. And let me I'm gonna thank everybody. Carrie, did you see the Ivana show? Because if you didn't, you might have fun with it. I did. I had fun doing it. So, and my buddy, what's another thing is wonderful that I know people in person that are in the chat. Like we've partied, hung out. I had a party. I've known this wonderful man for years. So it's really great. I've made some amazing friends. So I feel pretty spiritually, cosmically, chronally blessed. And Emerald View, it was great to have you here.
Yeah, it's great to join you.
Just wonderful
Thanks
to
for
hear
doing
you.
this.
Yeah, I love having your voice. Now I know what you sound like. Karen, Singingway. Mididoctors, are you still here from the UK?
I love you, Sandy.
I love
Thank
you
you for doing this.
too.
You really have a magic that brings people together.
I never feel that way. I think it's all of you that make it happen. It's not me. It's all of you. That's